catching him off guard. It's a 2v2. They had no idea it was right behind him. That was a perfect flank, but great flash coming in here from
taking people down and just using those specters, getting into that effective range to contest against the rifles on Brent's side. The slow QQ, he wants to pick up that spike, and he'll get the objective. Witzo with the spray, and Dispenser will wrap it up. Those good edges in VT. Brent Esports able to bounce back and hold the line, saving 3 of those guns, keeping alive with 3 of the players, and it does seem like they still have a good foundation for the next round.
Brent ini tetap yang menang. Yo.
Even though he's one of the later additions to this roster, he has no problem shining in these big time moments, using the chaos that was created by the rest of his team on that B site.
Cuma gua Brent ini
Get
menang.
the flank and get a double. Caveat there is he was not able to find it more, and with them going on the lighter weapons that time, saving the weapons that they had in the second round, you know, having those SMGs, having the Spectres, it did kind of bite them in the back, but of course, you know, that is only a bonus for them, and they can now fully buy up into this round. And so, will things continue that way? CBT, you can see them going aggressive here, round number 1.
Kamera gua kecilin ah. Ganggu anjing. Salah.
Trying to catch Brand Esports off guard. Same with the third round. When you have, you know, that less over capability to fight with ranges, taking things slow can be quite difficult, especially when you're against rifles. And so, you can see with the SMGs they had in their hands, close range is the name of the game. And that's why the B site was a play.
Yeah, it was just basically an aggressive Girl Scout cookie selling session. You saw that opening, right? And B just, Uagger says, buy my cookies, and just sprays it down with a Spectre there. Incredible. It really feels like CBT right now. They run double initiator for good reason, because in the namesake itself, they're great at initiating these fights so far, and that's been the storyline for the past 3 rounds. We're back on the technical timeout as it's tradition SEA, but at the same time, this does give these players and these teams a little bit of some breathing room. It is pretty early on for some Valorant. It is only the morning here, guys. It's pre-lunchtime right now in the SEA region, and I don't feel like some of these players are really accustomed to this. Of course, they have that experience, but still waking up, there is that excitement, there is that buzz. But then again, you realize, wait, it's the morning. What's going on? Gamers don't stay up in the morning, right, Black and Blue? What time did you sleep?
Don't call me out.
Kata siapa gamer dan stay up morning lah, gue malah nggak bisa bangun siang.
There is no such thing on the side of CBT, right?
Bisanya bangun pagi.
They might kind of change things up in the previous few weeks, but there isn't any shed of that, honestly, here coming into this series. For them to start off that pistol round very strong, and Brent to lose that one, well, it seems like the writing is on the walls so far. But it's only round number 4 as we're getting into things. A bit of a technical timeout once again. We want to make sure that everybody's, you know, playing on the most even playing field that we can, even in the online setting that we do have here. Mind you, that is going to be one of the biggest facets and factors into this. It is just an unfortunate kind of factor that you have to deal with. It is the nature of the beast when you're playing in online tournaments, and so we're gonna have to wait things out just a bit. Apologies, guys. Of course, it is our fault as the casters for not starting this one just yet.
Casters start again. Casters fix the internet. You know, those are the things. But really, this is a bit of a standard here in the SAA region, and hopefully everything is fine and dandy. We just want to see the best games we're gonna be seeing all throughout these weeks, and it's a destination here. Yes, it's
lama
a journey. It's still a part of that road to Berlin. But we've been doing challengers in every single local circuit so far for SEA. Another challengers, yes. Another tournament for these guys to battle on. But you can see the representatives so far. They are the best of the best that each region can offer. And it does feel like it's finally time for them to prove
I told you long ago on the road, I got what they waiting for.
It's such an accomplishment, right? For some of the newer teams here that we'll be seeing later on, that have finally made it to SCA. It's such a crowning achievement to them, added to resume, something to be so proud of. In the meantime, the usual suspects and the usual players, it's still something that they expect, but at the same time, aspire for.
Lama boom.
And really,
technically boom.
From what I see so far,
Siapa yang deja sih? Siapa yang deja?
and I'd say the rest of
you anger.
Group stage field,
you anger.
They've been working really hard for this. They've been working for so long.
I told you long ago on the road, I got what they're waiting for.
for them to qualify into this, it's a big crowning achievement, as you said, Dax, for a lot of these teams who have been really trying to get their foot in the door. And a lot of these teams, this is one of the biggest stages, or not the biggest stage that they've ever going to play so far, at least here in the VCT. So for a team like CBT, who has had a lot of those births into these challengers ever since the start of things, and for Brent Esports, who have been doing the same for the Philippines ever since it was just a two seed qualifying region, they are no newcomers to this. But we're starting off finally here, round number 4. Ult Orb taken, and Yuanger's got his blades to get things going. Flash on out.
Namanya Sofa anjir, bukan Reni. What the heck? Hidap step nih. Apakah dia sedang ngecun? Sedang kena tembakannya? Tadi Patipan di awal-awal tuh Patipan main ya. Tangannya sakit Patipan.
And he's confident with the frenzy because the blade storm is available and out already. Ultimate is online. Let's see what CBT
patah-patah sih dia.
Scouting on around yet again. They have so many tools for the intelligence here between the KO as well as the Sova. Brent Esports, they feel like something is coming on a site.
Ya, Dark Smoke sudah keluar ya di arah Eldong.
Now as the round continues on, the final few stages of this round, specifically 40 seconds left in the clock. Dubstep trying to initiate something here. He's got a bulldog in his hand to pull his bike.
Iya, Dubstep dapat info orang elongan ya harusnya. Jetnya di short, Jetnya di short satu. Nah, dipantek. Cari kan? Dubstepnya dicari. Ceprot. Nice banget Dubstep cu, masih di situ. Itu duel Dubstep. Dubstep yang menang cu. Cibitung nih. Tawan tuh.
Dubstep, he's seen, he's caught, but that's all the Cypher will get. Dispenser peeking, and Dispenser will kill. Brent Esports equalized with a proper retake there from Jesse Fashion Co.
Great retake coming in from Brent Esports. It seemed like on those last few moments that the plant was inevitable from CBT, but Brent Esports able to even prevent much damage from happening on their side. Great economy here still so far. Dubstep with him trying to, kind of chime on in on that short position.
Serif terbaik tuh kalau kata gue Serif. Singo sama Oni kayaknya deh. Kayaknya ya. Yang enak kayak Singo deh. Ini enak banget tuh Singo sumpah.
This is something that Brent Esports love to do. That brand domination. Just find a big win streak for them in a game.
Nanti di pause lagi cu. Serius lu.
Is this the start of something new? Does it feel right to be here for Bren? We'll find out as CBT. They do have the sheriffs and they're going to be another technical timeout. So if you guys are playing a little bit of that bingo, we got 3 already, and who knows how more we're going to be getting. But then again, they realize that
pengen komen tapi gue nggak pakai akun. Apalah.
From the initiate and the CBT so far, if they're able to get away from the reconnaissance, get away from the suppress.
Bohong itu nggak ada technical timeout, maksudnya nggak ada technical issue.
To absolutely nothing.
Sticknya rusak, gak bisa nembak.
Well, they're gonna have to bring a lot of their stops out already. Round number 5 on the sheriffs. We've seen time and time again where a lot of eco teams like to kind of, in these eco situations, go for a push. But with the sheriffs here being bought up by CBT, I think they're gonna go for a very different approach. I think by all means, this typically means that a team is planning to go kind of like a C split, if anything, as we've seen here in the C region. But for Brent Esports, they are in a comfy position, one that they love to be in. Both of these teams at about like a 70% win rate on this map itself, and so this is a great map for both of these teams. Very comfortable playing on this. By all means, this is their best map currently for both of these teams. We got CBT and Bren. But Dax, first of all, I mean, this round that we did just see right prior, I think it's a good sign for Brent Esports. For them to come back even when they lost the site and do that retake on the A site, which mind you is one of the hardest sites to retake in the game, that is a good omen for them. But second of all, Dax, when are you going to start the game?
Kipasku nggak ada terdapat.
Trying to find the start button. This one just gave me. This gun just gave me the power to go through ults. I don't think this is the right one, but What do these
I
buttons
told
mean?
you
What do these
long
buttons
ago
mean, my
on
friend?
the
I
road,
don't
I
know.
got
But
what I'm
you know,
waiting
Black,
for.
I gotta ask you a question real quick.
Ah,
This
itu
is a very
dia udah
important
dijawab
question.
kan, langsung gue
So you're
pesen.
a absolutely well-respected caster in the
Oh,
VHC.
thank
That
you.
is a fact. That is a fact. Okay, no contesting that. But when a player or a fan comes up to you and asks you for one
And I
Valorant tip,
say that I'm
what do you say to them? What do you say to them?
still
As we get a
for
replay here of the
you.
retake.
Honestly,
All I
work on your
want
mechanics.
is
Like
for
there is a strategy to this game. There is a lot of abilities. You got ultimates, but at the end of the day, someone's gonna peek someone, and you're gonna get peeked. And you can honestly kind of shoot your way out of a lot of these bad situations. Valorant, at the end of the day, is a first-person shooter, and that is the game we're on. As we are moving into round number 5, finally here, Pistols Eco coming in from CBT. Sheriffs Abound. Will they lay down the law? This is Spencer. Looking to make
all
this
I
comeback here.
want is for
Back
life.
you know, my tip is just shoot head win game.
Da,
And that's the thing for
da,
CBT. That's their
da,
win
da,
condition
da,
right
da.
now. If they find the pickoffs with the hand cannons in hand, of course, they might be able to get some rifles up and go and steal this round away from Brent. But that is a task
Gabless.
easier said than done. You feel the pressure when you have that sheriff. Sure, you have the chance to get that insta kill, but you have so little room for error
Satu info
in the
aja.
first place. And Wits right now, he wants to make sure he has an idea what's going on. CBT spotted by the
Nice
ground area in the
banget,
middle. And
dubstep.
Dubstep now avoiding the shots from Flow QQ, doing the Matrix and more, and getting the tap onto the Cypher.
Great shot
Wih,
there.
Garage masuk itu.
Dubstep.
Pas di info tuh.
Sentinels of Light. Okay, we see
Borkum.
you like buying those
Nice,
skins.
Borkum.
But he's gonna find a frag more importantly here on the winner. Dispenser finding a double here. Berlin will be the second to fall on down. They know where Uanger is. He's able to find a pick on Dispenser, but Wits will clean up house and get them the third round. Lead has finally been taken here by Brent Esports.
And here we have it. The momentum is just going in favor of Brent Esports right now, and this is their engine finally revving up to the speed they want to play. And CBT, though, in the meantime, will have the arsenal. We'll see what they can unleash this time. What we saw from the first round, they know how to
Baru
go
gue
for
bayar ini
takes,
dulu, guys.
and they know how to go for the rush down. But Brent Esports, they found the counter to that and just avoid the initiation as we mentioned before. But this is really a true test of both sides. Rivals are about for every single one of them. This is going to be Arsenal's into play. Full buys are accomplished. The real question is, who's going to get the angle onto the stuff that he wants to initiate? He turns away, and he is going to try, but no! CBT spotted him out early and got the takedown. Berlin with the kill, and Brent Esports are going to be using utilities right now to slow down this push, but Wits is not done, but his flash is not enough. Berlin again shrugging off the blinds and getting the takedowns for CBT.
That was so dangerous there coming in from Dubstep. At that
3
point,
lawan 5
you
nih.
found out you just have to kind of bite the bullet and get the heck out of there. Use your tailwind to dash out safely. But at that point, I think he might have already burned it. So he was in a very tough spot to be in the first place. Of course, they were trying to maybe get a refrag here, but Wits falling down in that attempt, in that endeavor. Now Dispenser with him trying to do the same. It seems like Brent Esports are going to have to start counting their cards because it's clearly being taken away from them one at a time, and Uanger is going to chime in on that facet. Jesse Vash taking on down. It's a 5v2, and CBD, they're looking to tie things up here.
Yeah, they're lining up to the Slaughterhouse Veilong right now, and this is not good form here for Brent Esports so far. They try to make the plays, but it's just not working. And usually Valorant is stealth is optional kind of game.
2 lawan 5.
But that play Dubstep was trying to do a while
Saving
ago,
is
that
better
was
nggak
stealth
sih?
is necessary.
Mereka duitnya.
Unfortunately, everyone on CBT was alerted, and just Berlin finding those punishes. CBT right now, they have just been able to punish Brent Esports over and
Oh,
over and over.
ini mah
on that
nggak
A
perlu
site,
ini, Cuk.
and they have
Kan gue
gotten
dari
that spike
Twitch.
plant. This should be a save here for Brent because they have no foundation for a retake.
Ke dari YouTube-nya Valorant
You lost
Esport.
your duelist, you lost your initiators. What can you really have to do as a controller? Sentinel left, last alive in a 2v5. Well, keep things in the pocket, save it for the next round, and maybe you can re-stabilize your economy coming in around number 7. But Dax, I'm going to propose to you a question. As the most, well-respected caster in the PH scene here,
Semua sama Jamet lah, bodo amat.
is kind of like the game have gone into seeing how Brent Esports were able to make this comeback. What's the biggest facet you currently think that they're playing with right now?
Bro, why are you leading to a proper question? I was
Prot,
trying to
nggak ada orang belakang
answer
anjing.
there, but
Betul kan
while
Seping,
you're
ini
like,
kata
you're
aing.
making me answer
Peter.
serious things. But what I see here from CBT truly is just how they're able to
I
stop
think media
Brent Esports
player
from
itu apa
really
ya?
initiating. CBT says we're the ones who want to kick things off. We're the ones who want to be the first foot forward. And
Install
they're the ones
ulang.
saying to Brent, can we have this dance? Can we have this tango and these clashes on these sites? for good reason, because that's their whole game plan so far on the attacking side. And they're not gonna let Bren set that tempo on the defense. Bren will need to react. They have done so already successfully before in the previous round.
Udah saya bayar nih Mbak, tolong ya dikirim barangnya. Panas nih.
Perfect answer, like a true professional. Don't worry, I'm gonna throw you one of those. I'll throw you something more fun if we ever get a break. If we're extended once again in the technical. But
all I want is a flag.
Gun round in by Bren, just barely able to buy
Blinding.
Operator come out by dubstep. He does get the flash, blinded on that, so there is a call out in that. Borkum trying to peek here from the garage.
You anger.
Not really finding much. You anger quick and readily into the side, but Berlin is going to catch Wits, and Winner's going to find Borkum as well. A double opening pick, and got a triple for CBT, and you anger finds a double for
Kalau udah tadi masuknya tuh masuknya pakai aba-aba itu.
It already seems like a wash. And it seems like
Si Sky-nya siapa? Wits tuh langsung ngebuka ulti, nggak bisa kabur, posisi mati, dia langsung di backside tadi. Ini kamera kocak banget sumpah nih, pakai webcam nyokap gue mati ceprot.
CBT has been cooking up for quite a while. The slow roast has been the answer for the roster, but then again in this game it's a quick flambe. 4-3 right now, and you anger with 9 kills.
CBT Cibitung, bukan Cibaduyut.
We're 7 rounds in.
Cibitung ini.
Someone's already double
Karena
digits
Bekasi.
on this, and his name is Berlin. Him whipping out the KO this time has really been something.
Cibitung Gaming. Lu menang mana yuk? Lu milih mana yuk? CBT apa Brand? Pusing Brand. Gue pengen lihat lagi nih Brand.
He's so important on those executes, both on the defensive and attacking side, and with that null command on,
blinded.
Suppress anything nearby. There's no way the anchors can do much to try and stop him on him.
Cabut dubstep. Dapat satu, at least dapat satu. Oh enggak dapat ya. Jesse Pes.
It's not gonna land anything on that really. Jesse Vash there coming in from the Hunter's Fury.
Brand jauh, iya anjir. Berapa sih BO1 kan tapi nya? Masih group stage mah BO1 kan? Sudah BO2 lama banget. BO2 B1 sih. B1 kan? Headset lu apaan? Headset gue ini Rexusnya yang disponsorin VCT Indo apa sih? Tapi yang versi bawahnya yang HX9, Rexus HX9 yang model kayak Steel Series. Enak sumpah loh. Tuh. Surround 7.1 juga. Mic gue bagus kan? Anjay. Seneng aja gue. Bentar. Jangan sampai kegedean suara gue. Menang giveaway enggak anjir, ini uang donate, uang Saweria. Ada anakannya si Bella, si Azril donate waktu itu 150 apa 170 gitu kan. Terus sisa Aras gocap ya lu. Pokoknya uang anak-anak lah. Thank you loh ya yang udah donate ya. G33 tuh ya. G33 tuh Logitech yang mana sih? Yang kayak gimana? Gak ada sih. Oh ini Irbat, gue gak suka Irbat. Irbat mending HyperX yuk. Serius. Irbat apa? Earphone HyperX aja. G33 tuh kemarin dapat reviewnya katanya dibandingin sama HyperX apa gitu. Mending HyperX katanya, serius. Kemarin gue mau ngambil itu apa G33 karena kan ya lu tahu gue kan kebiasaan pakai earphone kan. Nah perbandingan gue harus pakai Logitech itu atau enggak HyperX. Banyak review sih bilangnya ada ngomong HyperX. Dubstep. Oh my god. Oh my god, tuh langsung nge-lag kan gara-gara dubstep nge-whiff. HyperX nusuk enggak. Suka gue produk-produk HyperX. Tergantung sih maksudnya, makanya kalau kualitas suara sama kenyamanan kan memang harus lu rasain sendiri. Kenyamanan yang harus rasain sendiri. cakep banget ya di atas itu, hanya habis itu ada recon. Antuk dubstep anjing. Jadi gua dubstepnya jadi jet gua anjing. Cosplay jadi V anjing. Wah anjir itu dubstep. Itu dia, my bad bro. Pasti dia gitu-gitu tuh. Harusnya menang tadi cu. Kalau dubstep nggak nge-wave tuh kampret sama dubstep. Mana sih? Winnable. Ayo. He pay his mistake bro. He pay his mistake. Oh my god. Gila. Tuh, he pays his mistake. Dibalas. Itu baru bukan silver. Sudah terlupakan. Iya itu dibayar cuy. Langsung dibayar nih. Gue clutch anjing katanya. Baru gue tadi udah sisa 2 kan. 2 lawan 4 atau 2 lawan 3 gitu. Mistake nih gara-gara dubstep nih harusnya dapat nih. Si ini dapat dari CT loh. Ayo menang ya, winnable. 1 lawan 2 dubstep darahnya masih full, mantap. Iya cuy, nggak bagus malah itu gila loh. Dapat 1 aja sih dubstep tadi window, pasti kan dia munduran entah ke double door atau nggak ke mid itu doang. Habis itu mereka regroup. Musuhnya bingung mau masuk mana. Dorkum dapatnya harusnya nih. 1 kelatan. Asal backside. Nah. Ini baru brand cu, ini baru dubstep. Patipan main gak sih? Tapi katanya Patipan tangannya sakit kan? Toilet dulu gue bentar.
CBT has been making similar plays with you, Anger, time and time again from each one of these sites. And I feel like for Bren, they can take an even better opportunity here if they spray down that smoke a little earlier than usual.
That has been, something that I think would be working out for them. We did see them that a lot of these times, and CBT, when they go for that B-side push, we like both smoking and mollying to double down on each link. And for Brent Esports, they realize that that's just basically their cue to answer on back, do the exact same to the entrance, and spray through the smokes that have been set by CBT. And for the meantime, I think it's been working to their success, especially with the Phantoms abound. Those lack of tracers will be a big factor, especially in the hands of Dispenser. Now, though, he's been slide on out. He's going to have to try and back off here. Luckily for him, nobody is inside that lobby from CBT to actually punish his position.
Yeah, CBT here, at the very least, keeping an eye out on the garage instead with the smoke here. And in the way Borkum being cheeky inside the nebula right now, and just Cosmos inside that ball there. CBT is waiting for that to dissipate. Does seem like right now CBT is respecting that brand momentum. They know that the opposition is just really, really hot with what they've been doing so far. And it does seem like they're going to be setting it up yet again. That's what the Astra is all about. Make the plays, go for the gravity wells of ever. But Borkum saying, peekaboo, I see you, Berlin. And it does seem like he's going to be able to step on the robot there. No more suppress going to be a factor here for CBT so far. Dash on in already from the Anger. But Ren Esports getting a bit of the read here. Borkum now with 2 so far. Dispenser there as well. And it leads it to Dispenser getting his double kill at the same time. All left now.
Ada apa nih?
QQ. But really, here Black and Blue.
Kemarin aduh AWP kecetit. Iya yuk. Sambil ngejahe bos, mantap nih pagi-pagi. Kurang panas, mantap.
A lot of the unsung heroes in these rosters is that backline, and that was around by the backline here of Brenny and Borkum. The Sentinel and the controller
Bismillah, dapat secret lab.
3 for Dispenser, 2 for Broker, especially on that opening push on Garage. Great kind of controlled aggression from both of these two, and they've just the dual towers on the site. There's nothing really they could have done to try and flush them on out because
Ngopi anjing bukan, cu.
so good
Jahe.
at doing their jobs that way. But we're moving into the final round here of things, and this will be the final chance for CBD to try and get more even scoreline going into the second half.
CBT, they need this one to make it 5-7, and at the very least make it malleable.
Bacot kamu, Joyo Mall. Tolong kirim bayar, tolong kirim.
And they're gonna be trying to take this win, and Borkum, he's off to the races and off to good start, getting that takedown. Dispenser dumps them, the D&D connection, making it happen. Borkum there again, and Brand Esports right now, they are just
Kentut lagi lu bangsat. Bukan, cu. Meja gua kegeser.
Esports experience that we know and love, and this is the Bren Esports that we are accustomed to. 8-4 right now, as Bren has a hefty lead against CBT.
See, this is what we're talking about. Brand Sports, they typically will start off a map a bit slower, yes, but that's only because they are beating the defense, or rather in this case, the offense. And
Udah
as
8-4
we see
ya?
time and time again from a lot of the greatest players, a lot of the greatest teams, and even like
Jadi udah
like
beli.
Mayweather, right?
Tapi gue belinya di Jogja, enggak yang di Tokped. Ngeri gue takut di Tokped nggak bisa ngurus garansi apa segala macam kalau di Jogja. Jadi tokonya deket kan. Kalau ada apa-apa tinggal gue samperin aja rumah sini anjing. Kayak lebih mahal. 600. Nggak apa-apa lah, yang penting aman daripada gue murah di awal mahal di akhir. Mereka mainnya default ya, Cibitung ya. 2A, 1B, 1 garasi, 1C. Itu map ini tuh susah loh, gue tuh nggak bisa loh apa main di map ini. Kalau buat turnamen ya, nah udah sulit nih orang. Kalau ada backup tuh mati tuh. Ceprot. Nolek ya? Lu sama diem anjing.
Keeping up the momentum even into the second half, your black and blue, and the Bren win streak is something everyone needs to watch out for, because that can just balloon into
kompe full stack people.
Touch
Kepalanya kelihatan, cu. Kuncirannya kelihatan anjing. Kunciran jet.
Knocking on the door. Are you there to say hello? Answer me. Dubstep will get the final frag at the end of things. But Dax, you know, on that push coming from Brand Esports, they didn't even try to go for that backside control. A lot of teams will try to flood the site and specifically fight for backside control, but you can see here that they just tried to anchor that on the half that they
Cakep ya, mainnya deh, lu lihat deh. Tadi si ininya mati tuh yang depan celong siapa? Borkum ya, Borkum mati, Jesse Face nya Jesse Face sama si Dubstep langsung ngepick backset belak 2 barengan. Dia tahu ada info kan, Borkum mati udah dapat 1, ada info. Si ini sih siapa lagi? Belakang siapa lagi tadi sih? Ada saya nama siapa? Muncul di berdua si Dubstep sama Jesse Face. Ngambil satu-satu. Jadi kan spare partnya tetap aja yo. Kalau misalnya lu kayak nggak deket tuh, maksudnya tokonya nggak deket gitu, nggak bisa lu samper tuh nggak enak gitu, nggak bisa lu marahin orangnya. Gue sering kayak gitu, gomelin.
They look non-unstoppable in both the local and regional scene. We're seeing it here proven yet again. CBT though, they've been kings of the kingdom.
Kameranya gue kecilin soalnya biar bisa kelihatan gamenya.
From their region, and we said it, if they can get that map control, then they can really wrap things around Bren Esports. And you're seeing it here.
Turretnya tidur anjir.
Everywhere and anywhere. Unfortunately for them, though, Black.
Oh, ada Jesse Face.
They don't really have the guns to contend with Bren's take.
They do get the plant, so this is going to help their economy moving into the next round. CBT here on this.
Timing. Oh enggak, gue kira mau dilepas cuy.
They're going to have to find a few pickoffs at the very least to stabilize the CBT economy, because Brent's, they're looking pretty solid so far. Wet's going to catch Berlin.
Itulah, pakai klasik keding nyebelin.
Dubstep, a flawless round so far. Let me catch my breath, because Sova, Rainies, he's going to say otherwise. But Jesse Batch will confirm that frag. At the end of things, very similar to how the rounds went here for Brand Esports and CBT to open up their first opening 2 rounds. Almost flawless for Brand Esports once more, and they're only 2 away from match point.
And similar to what they did on that C side for Brand, they really simulated the playstyle of CBD here. Gotta say, I love the heads-up play to look up from Wits, because he does realize that Anchor likes to play those vertical motions.
Mati ya dari atas ya.
On top of the
Sorti jarak situ dari atas.
And again, Peekaboo says ready to get that takedown. Still with a
gitu cuy, tekniknya cuy. Rekornya cuy ke bawah.
Rifles here, black and blue. In a round that's considered as their bonus, and CBT will be buying on up. Now the defense, they're gonna want to win it, because if they don't, it's gonna look too dicey for them to even try and come back in this map.
Ini barang gua gimana cuy? Ditunggu ya Gan. Oh, oke.
But if they get this bonus, if they get this round win, then the writing is already on the wall, and Brent only needs to just execute to finish up this game.
Oh, but there's 3 anchors on the
Ini smoke-nya si Dubstep hilang mati. Ih. Ternyata cepet banget ya, ternyata cepet sih. Ih, nice banget backup cu. Jesse Fast. Nice banget. Brand anjir, keren banget cuy.
Dispenser, man, his position there almost looking too dire for him. Anger almost got the frag on him.
Gimana itu?
Down to a single bullet.
Ternyata cepet.
Fortunately for him, Jesse Vash has got his back, and that's the type of chemistry.
Kayak nggak ada apa sih, nggak ada celah gitu.
Right now, Brent just feeling so hot that they can take these kind of angles, they can make these kind of pushes, and they can take these kind of rounds here, black and blue. And it does feel like they pulled that slot machine out.
11-4 Heaven tuh emang Brand banget sih.
11-4, crippling CBT yet again. This is looking stellar here for the side of Brent. Anger, temptation was in front of him. The apple beat, and that is
jadi ulti dong.
Orb was just too spicy and too tempting to get. But he will get his own
Hawk
1
destroy.
point, yes, but through his demise instead.
Harusnya kan secara teori 12-4. Ceprot, iya itu.
Dispenser finds a big flow, catching Borkum off guard, not expecting that one. Jesse Vash realizes that he can't continue to try and contest this alone, so going to pull out the Owl drone instead to get that free information. But a single bullet here for Flow QQ. He's been tagged on.
Ini dulu kameranya klien.
You're just going to punish the day here. CBT, last one left alive is going
Pamer,
to be
body radiat. Bertang, pala nih mati. Ya, Wits juga nge-whiff.
He's waiting for the robot to speak on out, and Wits with the 3K to wrap up that round. Brent Esports now, they're 1 away from taking the very first map of C Challenges number 3. This is the road to Berlin, ladies and gentlemen.
Dispenser ngecun tuh bro.
Is looking to be the first one to get that first step to that journey. One last chance for CBT.
Terus yang ganti Patipan siapa yuk? Kalau Patipan gak main, tapi kemungkinan ya. Kalau belum ketemu extend Patipan gak main, kayaknya sengit deh. Enggak sih, kayak lebih better aja. Bu masih punya kesempatan menang kalau Patipan gak main. Sama kayak ini cuy. Waduh, setup ininya sama kayak gua tuh.
But Berlin, as he finds a take on the board, will get one of his 3v3 here on the C side once again. Still could not confirm a plan from Brand Esports.
Yeah, sneaky flow QQ, but Jesse Bash with the spot.
2 lawan 3.
Ditahan
lagi sama ini.
Right now, they want more space with the lockdown. Rainy here, veteran player looking to rain on the brain of Brand Esports.
Udah sulit. Nice try.
The Blade Storm is the only saving grace here for
Ketahuan.
CBT. From the garage, he will go for the shots. There's the dart already. Brand Esports right now looking for
Ini kalau dia belum di planting.
But Anger, he's running out of time. He needs to get on site and fast. He's already hit by the long rod.
Ini kalau si Anger clutch, gila keren. Watch this. Sulit sih, enggak kan?
No, he doesn't. And the road to Berlin starts with a Brand win, 13-4 for
GG Ben.
to kick things off in the morning.
Udah beda 1 kan betul? Keren. Mainnya keren deh.
As I said time and time again, they are so good at reading the offense or the defense in that case to start things off with. And CBT, it does look a bit dire for them already here, at least in this series alone, to go up into Bind, which is another great map for Brand Esports after losing Haven. Our 2-0 predictions are starting to ring true.
What a match, though. What an absolute killer of a match to start things off. And I just feel chills after everything is said and done. It's great to be back on the casting side.
Black and
it's
blue.
Great to see
Black and blue, black and blue.
So while I recall my thoughts, my friend, just gotta put this out already. Brand Esports, as soon as they started winning, they just never let go. And the Brand streak continues. It's not just a local phenomenon there. Black and blue, even the region has to take notice of how Brand takes control of the game.
One thing I really want to point out from that series is, a lot of teams like to pull out, okay, Dubstep, he had a great clutch, but the backline here, coming from Brand Esports, that's Wits, that is going to be, of course, Borkum and Dispenser there on that back line. He did so well. You can see Dispenser even the MVP of that series, and just a lot of the defensive holds that they had were in part from that backline coming in from Brand Esports, just so impenetrable once they finally got the read on how to play and how to counteract the aggressive attack of CBT. Now, CBT, they've had some great plays. Uanger had some great moments as himself, but Dubstep, as you said, Dax, he gave you that one.
Dislike anjing. Wah, bagus. Sama gue juga dislike stream gue nih. Jangan cu, ntar nggak masuk di lagi yuk. Biar masuk ini orang yuk. Apa? FYP si beranda orang. Jadi admin nggak dislike, gua copot sama gue batch admin lu ya. Mana gue copot sama gue nih. Siap ya. Lu lihat sendiri ya. Hapus moderator sama gue nih. Si, lihat ya. Hapus moderator nih. Hehe, satu. Nah gitu dong. Like-nya 2. Habis ini apa? Oh, BO2. Gue kira BO1. Kenapa nggak BO1 hebat cepet? Like-nya 3 cuy. Siapa yang like? Satu lagi cok. Kok ada 3? Nah gitu dong gak. Pakai semua akun lu untuk nge-like. Oh dia jelek anjir. Wah ini gua Bentar. Gue setting ini dulu. Alert box mana sih alert box? Kan gue udah login. Dubstep nih bro. PH government div anjim.
I got my IGN way back in 2015, so I was listening to the genre dubstep. And when you guys know, it's a genre where it's really loud. So I played Counter Strike, and I kept listening to the song. So I decided to change my name to the genre itself.
Tadi nggak ada.
When I decided to switch to Valorant from Counter Strike, it was a really tough decision for me. So when I started playing Valorant casually, I had a lot of fun, and it was a nice time to be alive, you know, that feeling. So when I wanted to try going pro on Valorant, so far it got me here, and I'm really thankful for Valorant to be existing at this very time. Honestly speaking, it's not a new feeling to us. It feels like at home. Like this is where we should be competing every time, and we have a lot of expectations on this coming VCT. So we're feeling really confident right now. I think extend from Thailand, because we still have yet a series to win on the team, because we haven't really had a match up against each other for the past 4 or 5 months. So I really want that rematch to happen sooner.
Extend emang tuh ya. Indonesia lawan SMJ aja masih ketar-ketir. Apalagi lawan extend.
The most exciting thing for me is, I think, to be able to have a chance to qualify for Berlin, and to be able to be one of the top teams in Southeast Asia in this coming year. I would like to thank everyone, because they have been supporting me and my team ever since I started playing Valorant. And even though I can thank you one by one, everyone who visits my stream, who supports us on our tournaments, I want everyone to know that I'm really grateful for all the support that you have given us.
Dubstep. Ih kemarin tuh yang namanya Taira itu siapa, mana ya? Kok nggak ada? Oh dari Filipin cuy, dari Filipin. VCT Filipin mana ya? Live-nya di mana ya? Valorant Jepang. Filipin. Ada nggak ya?
Still more to come. Good to have you back here, Viminal. And Black and Blue, I know you want to get started already with that next map, but really Brent Esports proving to us that the Brent standard is here to play and here to slay, guys.
So, I mean,
oh ini nih.
With that line up here from Brent.
You know, it's looking like 2-0 judging from their performance in the first
Bain cuy, mantap.
However, it was their map selection. This is Brent's map on Haven.
Ini dari Filipin kan?
The 13-4 scoreline. Now, this is going to be CBT's map select on Bind. However, we do know that Brent's also very proficient in this Bind map. Let's see what they're going to bring to the table. Is it going to be double initiator configuration as well? Mind you, it is a very interesting sort of meta right now, that double initiator combo. Really do enjoy seeing it. But yeah, it remains to be determined to see what they bring to the table here.
Yeah, and not only that, CBT, I feel like they're a strong team with that double initiator setup, but they've exposed their hand here already on Haven. That's something that they love to play on Bind as well, whipping out that KO, going forward the Sky as well, or maybe the Sova, depending on what configuration they're gonna run.
Sama aja
And
cuy.
just to add in a little bit more tidbits to the meta, something very popular on Bind as well is that double controller. You add that Viper plus either the Brimstone plus the Omen. There's so many options there, right, Black and Blue. It feels like each team is going to bring their own identity coming into Bind, but when you expose your plan a little earlier than usual, that's where a team can adjust even faster than before.
I mean, as we said to Dex, you know, when you were asking me a while ago, what do I think Brent Esports are going to do? Will they try some new things here, or are going to stick to their guns? We saw them stick to their guns on Haven, and by all means, it was the right decision. In the local scene, we saw them on Bind trying to shake things up, you know, go double initiator, maybe even drop a duelist in the entire map, but no, this time around, and that was especially on Ascent, but this time around on Bind, I think they're going to still stick to what has been working for them. If it works, you don't gotta change it. It's CBT right now, who has to try and
It's
find
CBT
some
right now.
alternative to what they've been doing.
You know, they already have the early advantage for Brent
Nih,
Esports,
Nimo ini
and
gua
you got a
hapus dulu
point
deh.
there,
Dah.
Black and Blue. If it ain't broke,
Nah.
no reason to fix it. But again, this is a different context. We are on the regional international stage. That remains to be determined whether or not their tried and true methods in the local scene translates as well here on the regional stage.
It was CBT off to a hot start, don't get me wrong, guys. Uanger plus Berlin, did you see those assists rack up so early on for the KO? I don't see those kind of numbers from myself in a whole game. But no, CBT, they kept it simple, they kept it clean from the get-go. And the thing about Bren is they're firefighters, they can just cool off the competition. And I feel like for CBT, they need to keep those embers into play there for the whole runs for them to take a match.
A lot of, you know, Brent Esports' game plan is kind of
Di Nimo, siapa yang
alleviating
lag ya?
some of the pressure on the opening rounds, you know, giving it up, and it's okay to do that because if you're able to take the
Udah
information
paman.
off of those losses in the opening like 5-6 rounds and use that to turn things around going to the second half, then by all means, it's not about how good you start a lot of the times, but how strong you end. And Brent Esports, they're really good at that fast.
Yeah, that was the definition of a strong finish because, you know, it was a 4-13, obviously. And we actually had a chat with the Bren Esports roster.
All I want is a full life. Bentar. Gue setting subaton biar mantap.
Having a slow start, so to speak. We were kind of curious as to why that was the case in multiple matches. And the answer was trying to get a read on their opponents. They're taking the time to try and get a feel for their opponents. And less and less, they haven't really been relying on a lot of set plays, but they're relying on their ability to adapt on the fly.
Just that versatility, that malleability, and sure, the Brent Chris hitting them at the very start, but not at that second half at all. And it does seem like there is that evolution from Brent. They learn from their mistakes, and they learn very, very quickly. And on the CPT side, they had such a strong start, and I want to see more of that because there are so many brilliant moments from CBT. It does feel like this young core has so much talent, guys, and as we're going to be getting into Bind, I wonder what we're going to get here.
We're going to go into Agent Select. Dax, Black and Blue, we go again. Floor is yours.
Well,
Thank you,
man.
Vim.
Thank you, Vim, for joining us once again. But Dax, it is you and I. This time again around on Bind. CBT on the attacking side. We got Flow QQ on that Sky. You got Raze, got Viper. You got double controller actually there for the side of CBT. On Brent Esports, nothing too new to be shaken up as they're going immediately to the pistol. Okay.
Yeah, we're already in game. This is what we want to see. Technical pause. Stranger to me. Straight into the pistol. This is what we want to do instead. Before we get started, Brent Esports whipping out that breach. And the breach has been an interesting pick in SCA for quite a while. It isn't as popular as the Sky option. But from the times that we see it, it's either a strong hit or a very large miss. It does feel like looking at the
Udah,
bit of gamble.
udah mulai.
Right at dubstep, gambling with a peak there and making the win happen versus Float QQ. Brent Esports getting that first pick off in a pistol round here, Black and Blue.
Great opening start. Okay, dubstep. He has been tagged on down, but fortunately for him, he can get some of that back. Look at this, though, coming from CBT. They still want to push their way towards the B site, especially after losing that opening shower's aggression. Now it's all going to be on Dispenser to try and make something happen. Fortunately for him,
Prot.
he's got a frenzy, but he's going to be flushed out by that nade. The turret is going to keep them at bay for the meantime as Witch try and double up.
Main PB kali, loncat-loncat.
Right click, and Uanger finds one of his own.
CBT, this is the hot start that they wanted. They're going on to that B site. Spike's already planted, and Brent Esports forced to say on the defense side. Borkum though playing the flank from the hookah here, trying to keep an eye out. Dubstep looking to go into the elbow, but Borkum sees a flying Berlin.
Dubstep untung lu bang. Ini lagi lah.
In the crossfire, Uanger, he's all alone, and Bren, they will take the pistol here, Black and Blue. Miracles can happen for Brent Esports. And it does seem like they're trying to shake off the curse that they have been accustomed to time after time.
Am I dreaming? Is this right? Is this even Brent Esports? Somebody pinch me. I'm not feeling anything, but you know, okay.
Wait.
Yes.
I probably don't wake up. This is a dream. I didn't wake up to my alarm. I missed the first game because these are incredible things and incredible sights that we have been able to behold. But back to your point, you were saying
this has actually happened to one of us, unfortunately. But I mean, you know. Sorry, buddy.
The burn.
It's all right. It's all right. We love him, but we're not gonna drop names here. Brent Esports, though, I have said, you know, in like the local scene, it's typical that they lose pistol rounds.
Ini aja deh, taruh sini.
Is not something that is necessarily afflicted to them as often. Surprisingly enough, in the international stage, it seems like when
Nah,
you see international stage, like here in the Sea Calendars, they know that they have to be on their A game, and so there isn't even a warm-up period to these guys. They open up here with a great retake after that opening pick as well. And Brent Esports once again in the driver's seat.
Sebelah kanan atas nggak ada apa-apa soalnya.
Does get gun advantage here, but while we have the time, the CBT will be whipping out the single frenzy and 4 classics. It does seem like they are going to be whipping out their double initiator and double controller composition as Dispenser gets rid of Uanger on that single 2 list. So in this kind of setup, we got Rainy on KO, Float QQ though, interesting enough, going to be on that Sky. I believe that's a debut for him on that Agent. And Berlin, usually when you see that name, he's on that race from before, especially in the KPC days. But with Uanger playing that main duelist role, Berlin has really taken the mantle of the Viper and working alongside his long-time partner with their will be on the Brimstone, of course, will go for the smokes instead. So can CBC
Bisa ke headshot sih lucu tuh. Si Jesse Face pakai klasik.
have the foundation from it in their local circle. Well, Borkum will say no as Berlin does go down. Full QQ with the blind, the dubstep, Jesse Bash on the board. Brady now getting in the way of the flawless of Brent Esports, but Wits of course is there to capitalize.
Satisfying banget cuy.
2-0. Bren right now.
Suaranya Soverdin.
Getting a good start here, Black and Blue. And if Bren gets a good start, and it becomes the patent-pending Bren streak, well, CBT will have to claw their way up yet again to try and get to the top of this mountain.
Oh, I mean, honestly, when I'm looking at the composition here of CBT, they're kind of going up against the conundrum. They got the double controller. Why? Because yes, Viper is good on this map, but it can be quite hard to smoke the heaven position there on the A site, and so you kind of have to give up one or the other, either double controller or double initiator. In this case, though, they went for the Soba, and I realized that's because they went for the Kaio, and I realized that's because they really wanted to make the Kaio work. But the thing is,
Gak ada yang
right now
kerikon.
in the meta of Valorant, in the pro scene at the top level, Sova is pretty much a must pick unless you're playing split, and so for them to have a little less reconnaissance to be made here as compared to Brent Esports, that is a big factor to be playing with. And I think CBT, they, you know, a lot of these rounds, it is decided by your composition and the map pick, and for this map, I'm not sure if the composition is exactly what they
Posisi
for,
mati.
as Uanger finds an opening pick on the opposing raise.
Well, Black and Blue, the answer from CBT is, well, they're going to try to prove you wrong, because this composition is something they want to run in the first place, something that they have tried and tested so far. Let's see if it's going to work. Well, that's a good start, though. Dubstep going down. Valve the raise is something you see a lot of behind. Deny areas like the hookah, like the cubby on A side, like the showers as well. League right now trying to get more and more of that face. But Jesse Bash with the spam. He learned that in the set, and he whips it out on maps like Bind as well. The Spencer Knight now burning Float QQ as Rainy is able to on site trying to hold the line behind the tin can. But the Ares of all things, he's the god of war, and he's finding the fight before he falls. 2 versus 2. Brent Esports will try to go for the retake for Lindo, waiting behind the smoke.
Well, they bring the war to their own doors here. Spectre is in hand for Brent Esports. Gonna have to take these fights up close and personal. You see Borkin trying to rotate here towards the elbow position. Dispenser gonna try and
pulling the
from
man
the CT itself. As Berlin holding across, Borkum has a chance here to sneak on by. As the Spencer's pulling their aggro.
Itu lucu.
I'm not sure if we can actually catch Borkum off
Kalau
guard.
menang Borkum.
Find that one pick. He has a chance. And he
What?
wins it. Borkum with the clutch in a 2v1. And Brand Esports, flawless start so far.
What time is it? What time is it? It's
What?
Borkum time. 3-0 here for Brand Esports as Borkum is
Kok
able to get
CBT
the clutch. And
respon telat ya? Terlalu fokus sama orang CT. Dia nggak mungkin.
It's like, when we see Borkum,
Masa iya
no one
sih?
even really cares what he does. We just say, if you get
Masa iya mereka mikirnya nggak mungkin nge-split
Borkum is
anak
such a
Brand
good name to say. It just rolls off the tongue. But he's been such
2
a
lawan
great
2.
player for Brand
Masih ya mereka
Esports.
nggak
Has
expect
made their perennial flex
anak
pick
Brand
the
bakal
first
nge-split.
edition of Wits. And
Satu
whatever
elbow,
role
satu
you
sana.
want him to play, he can play, but he's back
Sebenarnya
on the
Berlin
controller,
tadi posisi
and
udah
he
bener
is
bisa ngelihat
able to
elbow.
alongside the rest of his team.
Man,
Cuman
Borkum
ada
has a
apa?
long history and tenure of being one of the most consistent players that you're going
Si
to see
ininya
in
mati
this league.
duluan,
Even
si
before Valorant,
Rainy.
we know he has
Di
been such
run
a
and
prime
gun.
player, never the disappointment, and he's such a great glue here for the Brand Esports roster. And now CBT, even after getting that plant, even with the weapons
Itu
advantage,
ketahuan.
now in an eco, and this is honestly a really bad position to be in. After losing the opening 3 rounds, you're losing your gun round against like a bonus round here from Bren. Not good. And Borkum, he finds an opening pick on Upper Lin.
Satu belong,
CBT, not
satu
off the race.
uka.
Borkum. That's my contribution.
2 B ya guys.
Thank you. You know, that's how we go.
3 B guys, 3 B guys. Tuh udah dapet info tuh. Ukanya 2. Tadi kelihatan kan palanya sini. Kayo. Ini udah tahan. 3 B. Infonya harus sudah jelas tuh. Mati 1, 2 B, 2 uka. Lasa uka, bener kan? Gitu tuh kalau gue main tuh.
With their utility so far. Here comes the knife real quick from Rainy. He accomplishes absolutely nothing. And the 0 point can only give the intel, can only give the suppress, but it cannot give you that intel. You have to work for it. Brand Esports on the flip side, they're working so hard right now to keeping this lead up. Wits has been able to get a lot of spatial control thanks to his fault lines. Gotta say, the same case there with Borkum on the Astra. And here on the defensive, Brand Esports, they have a very well-fortified composition, I gotta say. It does feel like they're casting Kingside right now onto a site with this stack there, with 4 of them on the board. But CBT, in the meantime, they're gonna try the siege yet again.
A gun round here coming in from CBT once more. Showers controller early established here by CBT. Though he's got a nade to answer back on that. Dubstep trying to paint the walls of the shower here. Blood red. Flow QQ holding on to this.
Wih, cakep banget itu, cu.
And what a trap they've set up here. You guys have walked into your own tomb. And they do find a pick off of that great Hunter's Fury from
Itu
Jesse Bash. Great set play, you can see. The combination of the
3 loh.
pull of the
Pensil,
Astra
Astra, Astra apa tuh? Astra yang mau narik sama ulti, anjrit. 3 loh, kayak mereka kayak confidence banget tuh ada orang. Gila ya.
Set up from Bren, the
Gila
knockdown
ya.
from the Hunter's Fury, something tried and tested by Bren Esports so far. But CBT, they're trying to prove as well that their own tried and tested, their own experiments will work. But Berlin, he's caught napping, and there's no way you're gonna be able to get Berlin if you're sleeping on that journey. You Anger in the meantime, keeping an eye out here to see if anyone's gonna be peeking. But look at how Bren mobilizes over to the shower side. CBT though, they still have tenants they can build on to try and fight back. As I say that, Borkum, he is just not unstoppable. Avoiding his shot, getting takedowns, and Borkum, he's just barking at the opposition to get the flawless, and it's 5-0 right now for Bren Esports.
Oh my jeez.
Cuy, 10-0 cuy.
Already into the 5th round. And as we talked about, you know, ending that first map a while ago on Haven, a lot of people like to put their eyes on the duelists, on the front line, but really the back line here of Brand Esports is why they're so good.
Ronde dari 5 ada ngekill 10. Itu keren banget nih sumpah.
There's a reason why these guys are the flag.
Itu di backup sama si Keio itu.
And it is because of this backline time and time again. How do you even
Kalau nggak si Dubstep bisa dapat banyak gitu. Itu keren banget, Dubstepnya ngekontrol shower, dibantu sama ini reconnya si Jesse Face ya, Jesse Face iya. Seneng deh gue ngeliat Thailand main tuh, Thailand kan.
but it just hasn't clicked as of yet. It does feel like CBT right now, they need to go back to their roots with what they want to accomplish with this comp in the first place. You got the Sky for the blinds, you got the KO for the suppress, and you got the Brimstone and the Vipers, so there's a lot of things going to be dropping down on the site that they want to go on, but unfortunately for them, it's just Bren waiting on the other side at the right instance. And here you go again, getting in the way of Float QQ and Rainy. I gotta say, as we're watching this round and Bren Esports getting the pick up, it's CBT, this is a reckoning, because
skillnya tuh selalu kena ya.
to make this work,
Skill-skillnya dari Bren tuh selalu on point cuy.
Right now, their reaction is proaction, and
keding.
their proaction is also
Rasa belong, buka.
as winner there will be at least shutting down the Spencer, but Jesse Bash is there to wrap up the round. But back to my point, Black and Blue, Bren Esports right now, TLDR, they're getting in the way of CBT, and CBT has no answer because of it.
I mean, at this point, you know, CBT, when you're in the attacking side, you have to be able to assert yourselves and control the pace, but it's Bren doing that here on the defensive side. Actually, more importantly, they're letting CBT do what they want to try and set their own pace, but Bren are really good at counteracting that. They know the perfect formula to what CBT are doing. CBT, you want to play aggressive, then we're going to receive
Skill point tapi ketemu.
down low. So, for Bren Esports, what they're doing right now is so good.
Lu lihat gak tadi yuk? Kombinasinya tiga orang, Sova, Astra, sama Race dari tim Bren itu keren banget anjir. Fire in the hole. Cibitung. Spike-nya drone jatuh di sini, kocak. Ketahan. Oh my god. Oh my god, Jesse Bash. Oh my god. Menang. Kalah. Oh my god. GG. Keren banget.
To the winner goes the spoils, and finally CBT able to reap some benefits of that.
Anjir. Low sih emang, tapi tinggal low 4-1 cok.
He found those bigs, got a triple, almost got a 4K at the end of things. Is all down to the Spencer, but unfortunately could not clutch it out.
Jesse Bash nahan loh. Nahan di belong biar spike jadi nggak masuk, cok, ketahan.
I mean, the serious factor here is CBT finally get a round under their feet. The bleeding has been stopped.
Kayaknya kita main harus ngikutin caranya Bren deh yuk. Cara ngekontrol shower sekarang gue tahu gimana, harus ada Sova intinya. Atau nggak Astra. Sova sih yang pentingnya. Mati, ceprot mati nih. Itu nggak kelihatan orang CT. Mati long deh. Gue justru dia yang ngekill, dia yang kalah. Ketahan, harusnya TP. Mau nggak mau TP. Maksa ngeplan kalah. Maksa ngeplan di A kalah. Fix, percaya sama gua. Oh. Betul kan? See? What I say? Maksa ngeplan di A kalah. Ketahuan lagi posisi udah di orang U-Hall. Fix info pasti. Kenapa nggak TP langsung rame-rame? Kan cuma ada satu siapa ya nggak yang ngeflank, si dubstep doang dari orang mid. Wih, nonton gue 3 rame bener anjir. Siapa lagi nih? Udah 10 anjir, 10 pemain di A masih dipaksa. Mau main bola lo 10 orang di A. Bikin tim kesebelasan, ke-10-an. Coaching with Recca VOE. If Bren plays this right. CBT though, you can see that their plan makes a lot of sense, Black and Blue. The blueprint is there, but unfortunately, Bren Esports, they're the Ocean's Bren right now. They're the ones saying, you know, this was our plan all along, and we knew that you had the blueprints to this map.
I mean, I really think that it's a bit of a conundrum here in composition-wise for the side of CBT. Like Kaio, all he really brings to the table here that he couldn't get another agent suppressed. You already have post-plant Molotovs here, at least from the Viper and from them, so you don't necessarily need his molly, right? You've got flashes on the Sky and you also
Sekarang anjingnya Sky ini ya bisa ngedamage ya maksudnya. Bisa ngekill orang loh kalau darahnya 10.
I think the Kaio, it's a good reason to have
Recca
it here,
Prof
but
namanya,
I
Prof.
just think it's a bit misplaced
Iya.
to have it
Gua
against
mau ganti
Recca
Prof lagi
right
nggak ya?
now, but on the push here in the Zico, one thing
Jesse
that
Face masih survive cu, nggak mati cu dari backside cu.
back into the smoke.
Bisa gitu ya.
Gonna be doing the same. They're gonna give up this plant, I believe, but
Nggak mati
I
loh.
don't know how the retake's gonna work out.
Skill survive tinggi.
Bren Esports trying to figure it out.
Nice banget dispenser.
They will put a stop to the first contact there.
Wih.
Alright, goes down, and as soon as the spike is down,
Lu
it
lihat.
looks like this round
Lu lihat flashnya on point banget cuy.
caught in the middle and have
Kompak
them have
banget.
CVT sandwich. It seems like Bren
Anjir.
Esports is the
Gue
chef
kalau nonton
of
tim-tim
that
Thailand tuh
game.
kadang gini
8-1,
anjir kayak
Bren
what the
Esports
heck.
with the dub. And now,
Apa yang mereka lakuin tuh kayak
question stands here, Black and
ada
Blue.
aja.
What can CVT do now?
Kemarin gue nonton extend gitu, ya ampun itu kayak di luar nalar gue kok orang bisa mikir kayak gitu ya.
I mean, it's so hard to call when Bren are looking this much on point. You know, CBT, they're not winning gunfights, and more importantly, their competition.
Tuh kalau kita bilang itu biar ganti-ganti nih orang.
Is kind of working against what they want to do. To be quite honest with you, not having that reconnaissance that Sova might give you is going to be a big factor. But Viper Wall is set up here towards a site.
Gimana ya kok mereka tuh spend berapa waktu gitu loh untuk main game gini sampai pinter gitu loh cara mainnya.
It's gonna make things a lot more difficult for CBT to try and set their own pace.
Strat menang EU, AI menang NE. Bener.
Doesn't want to run that so, but they have a lot of smokes.
Enggak cuy.
And with
N
Sky,
NU
get
lagi
that flash
EU,
push on,
EU itu tuh
with the KO,
stratnya juga kencang
you
cuy.
still get
Lah
the intel
Liquid,
anyway. And with that, without that Sova,
tim
dude,
Liquid tuh
maybe
stratnya
what-
mantap cuy.
where is the standard reconnaissance
Kalau
at
NE itu
one?
aimnya emang
First place,
kencang-kencang banget,
Bren
bingung gue ya.
Esports
Kenapa ya
capitalized
orang-orang
just
NE
fast. Of
itu?
course, he's a lineup god. He's the
Buset,
probably the
bisa sampai
person
sini.
you can see making those videos on YouTube and
Double
then
lagi.
teaching you what to do. And here we go again with the Hunter Fury. Does
Desi
get the
Face nih
tag.
sofa
As for
TikTok
you,
sih.
well, seems like this time, this is the rare
Pasti
occasion that
TikToknya dari
CBT
Recca
really
tuh.
misses the mark. And since CBT has just seen that Hunter's Fury been unleashed, this is actually a chance for them to figure out
EU menang
where to
outplay
go.
tetap aja berarti
They want to
strat
go
cuy.
to
Berarti
side
itu
here
individual
for
skill tuh
advantage.
kalau outplay.
You see Dispenser prepping.
Sama individual skillnya si NE juga kencang.
On that because they are going to be coming towards the site. Lockdown will be put on down. That's going to make a lot of pressure put on the shoulders of CBT. So they either have to push this or go for
Dia
the
keluar
back
dari
off
tube mati itu di
immediately. But
wallbang.
one frag, you're being found by Winner. That is huge for them to
Kabur,
find the Sova.
kabur,
Gonna
anjir,
get out
3
in
ulti,
the time.
4 ulti,
Here to get that plant
4
on
ulti
down.
dikeluarin
Capitalize
untuk
on that
nge-retake.
space given. Dash from
Gila.
side here as well. Gonna make things so hard for CBT. And while things were looking really good early on, can they get the plant off? Yes, they will here on the A side. Just
Lockdown,
enough time. A second
Astra,
left on the clock on that plant.
Breach,
And they do have
sama
a
Ares, 4-4 dikeluarin cuy.
Gonna have to retake this one somehow with no ultimates up left.
Put
The
great
bait
tag.
and switch was so successful there from CBT. Not only
Dar,
they get
dar, dar.
away to that A side, they get the pick off courtesy of Rainy, which still
Common
from up top,
common
catching
spot
out
soalnya.
Winner.
Pasti
You
udah
mentioned it
kedetek
already,
sih.
Black and Blue, Bren Esports using their ultimates to absolutely nothing. This is such a big chance created here by CBT.
Nembak tembok nggak tuh
Right
turretnya,
now
anjir.
to play the post plant on A side, and Berlin looking for the bounce lineup to try and
Nice
find
try.
the Spencer. He will get one, so Rainy
Wits.
gets the refrag. That's gonna
Wow,
be
Wits, sayang. Nice try, Wits.
there by Rainy, veteran captain here of CBT, someone you can rely on from those AHQ days. It's Rainy right now, raining on the parade of Bren Esports.
Itu 4-4 dipakai ulti gimana anjir.
Lifeline here, Black and Blue.
Bren Esports seem like to been confused on what game they were playing on, dumping all their ultimates into one basket. You know,
I wonder what game that was.
Let's
thinking like,
go!
okay, we use all our ultimates, we win the round.
Kabur
Well,
semua.
I can kind of understand where they were coming
Dipakein
from,
lockdown
rather.
aja kan harusnya
There was
mereka
not
pada
much
kabur
time
dong.
left on the
Lu
clock.
tambahin lu
Literally
sama
barely enough to get that rotate
showstopper.
on from the B
Tambahin
line
lagi
position
sama
all the way
Breach.
on that triple plant on the A side. And so,
Di
good
Gempi.
call from CBT to back on off with all
Bisetnya di
ultimates
Gempi.
dropped there. Coming from Bren, I think they dropped like 4 ultimates in that one round, right? And so that is a big factor to give up quick and early. And now it's CBT.
Ditarik,
The Vipers
ditarik.
here to get things going on the B site.
Yeah, especially control options of a lockdown and the rolling thunder. Those were instant win conditions if they just got the right read at the right time on a map like
Hyper
mine.
pit.
But now the
Bikin
control
gua
is
nge-lag nih.
on the corner of CBT here. The Viper spit will just encompass the elbow with this shade of green. Call a doctor because that elbow looks very, very infected right now here. Black and blue.
Itu nggak dicek. Jesse Pes. Di wallbang kan kalau udah kedetek tuh jangan sampai keluar dari tube aja. Di tube-nya juga harus ngade kotak itu biar nggak kena wallbang. Nice banget. Anti-bot. Dispenser kalau clutch kok demi otot lebih keren lagi. Pasti double pick tuh. 140 tuh. Tuh kan 10 kedingnya. Oke, subs 24 jam live stream. Let's go. Bener gak ya? 1K subs gue giveaway VP, serius gak bohong. 1K subs giveaway VP untuk 3 orang apa 2 orang ya. Ayo kalau mau tuh 1K 1K VP gila lu. Ya udah 1000 VP berarti ya. 1000 doang. 1000 VP untuk 3 orang deh, ayo. But can they get the good finish instead? And we all know by now, guys. 1K subs. Ayo 1K subs. Fire in the hole. Mati, there. I blow you up. Terus itu yang ngomong ke salah satu toko, enggak, biar alami aja. Promosi bayar cuy. Sama aja gue ngeluarin duit. Promosi mah di sosmed gue sendiri, TikTok gitu-gitu. Blinding. Guk. Niat banget cu buat ngekill 1 orang cu, sampai di ulti cu. What the fuck? Buat apa cu? Oh udah switching side, pantes. Si alami, iya alami dong. Yang alami so. Aduh ya ampun dah. Switching side. Ini malah gue makan ini yang canceler. Kenyang gue demi Tuhan. Gue udah makan kayak sepiring nasi sosis ini nih. Canceler original 8.000. Kenyang banget gila. Enak lagi. This is the kind of fights we want to see. This is the kind of clashes we want to witness, and this is the kind of history we want to make for SEA. Gotta say, Black and Blue, we already got at least a little bit of that international notice from Iceland, from X10. But this time, the stage is set. Gue masih penasaran loh yang ganti Patipan siapa ya? And show up into Berlin. And I wonder who's it gonna be at the very end. But right now, it's Bren and CBT clashing at the very start. Yang ganti ini siapa ya? Ganti Patipan. Nih Boom kalau ketemu extend tanpa Patipan, extend tanpa Patipan, kemungkinan Boom ada chance lah untuk menang. Patipan tuh hard carry soalnya. Kayak Adrian King gak sih? Emang satu timnya jago aja extend. Sisa PR-nya paling ntar lawan full sense saya kalau benar ketemu full sense. Coach tetap kering. Oh yang gantiin coachnya.
CBT
Serius
can
loh.
take control with the vision coming into this retake. The Spencer, he does have
Gak tahu sih. Emang susah sih. Indo lawan Thailand tuh masih sulit emang. Lawan SMG aja udah belum bisa.
And it's Dubstep right now trying to get attacks from the labs, but unfortunately for him, Anger has finally unleashed the beast, and he's going to be able to get that final kill. CBT get control of the second half. They have the setup score hit, they have the composition to hold the line on the defense, and they got the kills they needed to win at the pistol. And big friend Black and Blue here, I need to hear your voice, my friend, but CBT right now, their voices are screaming here. It's their time to shine. They have had a 4-round streak, including the ones from the first half, and they're going to be having the gun advantage. But as I say that here, Black and Blue, Brent says, no. It's not going to happen. It's forced by time.
Extend Patipan bisa ngeriin FS gokil. Iya maksud gua siapa? Indonesia lawan SMG dari Singapura masih keteteran. Tapi SMG kemarin gue ngeliat mainnya kocak deh. SMG nya bukan yang kayak kemarin cuy, bukan seleksi, setahu gue dah. Beda roster deh. Kemarin gue nonton SMG lawan apa ya? Kocak mainnya. Demi Tuhan.
Trying to use their defensive fortifications for degrees, and Guiding Light is going to be into play. Black and Blue seems like Brenny Esports wants to go for that B sites.
Wih, satisfying banget suaranya. Tipu-tipu si kampret pura-pura. Kok suara komentatornya hilang?
Putting Anger with that takedown, and CBT, they stopped the force fight. This is such a good sign here now for the side of CBT. They've gotten the wins that they needed. They've been getting the momentum that they've been looking for, and they just stifled the economy of Bren Esports so far. This is going to be Bren trying to withdraw some money from the bank and realizing, oh, we have nothing in our savings. This is not going to work out whatsoever. And Float QQ, the newest addition to the CBT roster. You can see why he's brought back into the fold, why he's fighting here for CBT right now. It does seem like he's SEA ready as well as the scoreline gets closer and closer.
A great triple kill there from Float QQ to keep them afloat in this series. For the meantime, 2 rounds of a deficit. CBT now have got under Bren Esports. Bren on this eco that they're going to have to pull out, since they did force the last round down out, means that they're going to give even one more chance for CBT to almost equalize the scoreline up. Round deficit, as we pointed on out, is Borkum trying to go for the peak here on Showers. He's all alone, nobody to really support his endeavor. So Anger is going to pull back a bit. The rest of Bren Esports, I think they're looking to split the A site here.
Yeah, it does seem like that's the case between Bren right now and their positioning. You can see that they're stacking up on the short sand, going for the Showers as well.
Dubstep too.
Got Rainy at the same time. Dubstep there with a ball back headshot, but Anger finding Dubstep at the very least, making it 4v4. Now CBT, they can just make that dance bet in the middle happen with that Spectre, and Anger is putting on.
Bisa orang-orang yang jarak jauh pakainya Spectre. Gak bisa gue lu Spectre jarak jauh.
Because the Spencer has found a Vandal in hand. Can he make the rifle work? That's the
Zeus,
question.
the head
It's the big gun trying to make a lot of noise here, Black and Blue, and Bren Esports, they need some high impact right now from the Killjoy.
They've taken that Vandal in his hands. So
Zeus, namanya
Spencer,
Zeus.
can he do something as winner on hunting season here, finding Jesse Vash?
Zeus.
You know where he is. Lamp's going to be given away. He's going to take that round.
Clutch
lose
ini.
that pick, rather,
Percaya
on
gue
Berlin.
clutch.
Starts
Dispenser
stifling
clutch.
any notions
Dispenser
here. But
clutch.
they've got to win this
Walaupun
one out. All
nggak
they really
ke-plan.
have to do, honestly, is run away CBT, because there's
Oh,
no
nggak
time
jadi,
left
guys.
to work with. And Anger up close and personal with a Spectre. Going to make a ghost here out of the Dispenser. 7-8. And Bren Esports, a single round is all their lead is.
Yeah, just a little bit of a fun thing to see from that Sky, just delaying that guy in light half a second later while the Spencer tries to look on away instead. It's something that Sky can control. And why is she so popular right now? Without the animation, plus the fact that you can control when that flash pops during the duration, you can really psych out the opposition, and those microseconds matter, guys. In a game like this, it feels like every little bit of time that you can buy for yourself to get that headshot on, it's such a big factor. And Bren Esports right now, they're realizing that CBT is a factor in this game. We mentioned it a while ago. Brent Esports, they've been incredible on the local scene, but something that they've been unable to do is to clean out rounds, to clean out matches rather, in a commanding fashion. It's been 2-1s, 3-1s when Brent wins, and in a group stage of a best of 2, you don't want to go 1-1 because that's not the scoreline you're looking for.
Ya,
I mean, yeah, there's, if you guys aren't familiar, as we talked about earlier, you
nggak
know,
tahu sih.
if you go 2-0 in a series,
Dibilang
that's
SMG
3
aja
points
sekarang
to your
rosternya
group
beda,
stage,
kita belum
and
tahu
if
ntar.
you go 1-1, that's only a single point, and so that is something that's a big factor to really take into consideration as we're moving into this series, the latter stage of this series here right now. Winner. The position has been given on the way. You can see that Dubstep's trying to spam him
Kalau
through.
PRX ke
Maybe find him
Berlin
inside the tube
kayaknya
itself, but for
kok
Brent
belum sih
Esports,
kalau kata
they
gue
made
ya,
their position known
belum
here on the B
waktunya.
site, but the defense is not rotated just yet from CBT.
Asal
Be wary that this might be a
PRX
fake out and they might
dapat
rotate to the A site. But now
bracketnya,
the Tayo, as I
bracket
said,
bagus,
is a great agent
bukan
to
bracket
have be
neraka.
that rotate player. Jesse Vash, is he gonna check the TP? He does. Actually, he does find
Nggak ketemu UU aja.
able to cross safely. Luckily for him, but Dubstep already shut down on this push alone.
Anjrit, pas banget.
Ih,
Lari ke tembok. Itu keren banget pas lagi secel langsung di ulti, cuk. Gitu dong, ngasih perlawanan. Tanggung jawab sama mapnya sendiri.
They've written their thesis on it already. They presented it to the class in the Hong Kong Taiwan region. But here we have
On fire 3 orang, on fire 3 orang memang udah pasti menang.
just saying welcome to my TED Talk, or in this case,
Nggak usah ngomong.
welcome to my TEDx Valorant session, because we will prove to you that this is a competition we know how to run, and in just that instance, Brent Esports is put
Kenapa nggak
to the
sekalian
test,
on
trying to
fire
play the
5-5-nya?
defaults, and CBT having the answer with the flashes there, courtesy of Float QQ. Not only that, the frag potential from the roster looking so stellar so far, and we have a tied game here, ladies and gentlemen, where CBT can take advantage and take the lead. But as I say that, Jesse Vash, so fast and so good with
Lari-lari
the
dia pakai
share.
seri.
Anger now gonna go down. Here comes Spencer with a lockdown as well, and Brent Esports, they're
Kena.
willing to force
Hampir
things out.
kena.
They're here to seal the deal and try to be in it to get the win. Jesse Bash hitting that mark, and this is just such good ultimate value from Brent Esports so far here, Black and Blue.
You know, Jesse Vash might not be the most flashy player on the Brent Esports side, but he is by far the biggest brain I think we have here in the Philippine scene. He is so good on reading what is about to happen on the opposing side and acting on that, and that's why he found those double picks. Great opening pick and great Hunter's Fury. But now the post plans here from CBT, they realize this, they're gonna give this one up. They know that there's no more time to go for this retake, and Brent Esports, a thrifty round.
Pas lawan UU sengaja mau poin. Enggak, maksud gua
I like the decision making here from both
nanti
sides.
kalau seandainya dia
nggak
punya uang tadi dubstep biar bisa beli maksudnya. Maksud gua UU tuh sekarang susah cuy. UU tuh harus hati-hati juga. Kemarin gua nonton dia lawan apa gitu di Twitch, VCT-nya negara dia. Itu boleh juga maksudnya. Tapi masih kalah di bawah ini brand. Apalagi buat extend, kayak extend tuh masih mendunai cuy di Thailand tuh menurut gue ya. Extend FS tuh kayak NXL AE boom AE FS sama extend. Nah ini brandnya ini BTR.
Yeah, not able to land the shot there on that operator going into the hookah position. Seems like Dubstep has been dancing to his own tune.
Flash ke atas
has been so good on these pushes on B long with his own flat. Jesse Vash going to capitalize on that space and going to at least get the trade off here.
Ya bracket neraka kan extend FS PRX. Oh, PRX satu bracket sama extend sama FS. Ya udah. Jawabannya sih harusnya dulu tahu PRX bisa masuk apa enggak kalau di satu bracket sama extend sama FS.
Not a traditional FPS, not a traditional 3-lane FPS map that you do see commonly in other
Culik nih satu nih. Dar. Oh di flash.
Here on that operator, he is on the brimstone, so as he misses that shot, he's not going to have a lot of tools to back off here.
He's gonna try with the smokes, but Witz is there to get that takedown. And you can see Witness Winner just die into the cubby, but Rainy, of course, still fighting on back. He has
Kelihatan?
here. He's inside that tin can, and he's made of aluminum, but unfortunately, the explosions will be able to shatter that one down. Dubstep with the takedown.
Satu lawan dua.
All things, but Uanger, it's time for him to prove his worth and time for him to prove why he's here. Jesse Bash has been spotted. Uanger right now getting in position to get that takedown. And it's Showstopper versus Showstopper, but Dubstep with a bigger, happy, newer explosion. It's Fireworks Fiesta here on Vine, but it's Brand Esports who gets the celebrations on.
Showstopper is abound for both sides.
Anime battle.
Dubstep who turns the channel
Anime
to
battle.
the tune of Brand Esports. What an end to that round. I almost thought they were going to hit each other midair. It seems like a lightning strike.
Keren banget.
Well, raises at the end of things. Big kabooms. The war is going on the B site. But only one nuke is going to catch him off guard. And in the end, it's going to be Bren's bomb, bigger than CBT's. 10-8 in Brand Esports. 2 rounds away here for match point and 2 rounds up over CBT.
Only one word to be apt with that scenario as the Viper spit comes out. Explosions! There you go, that's it. That's my contribution again. I like it when you let me contribute just that little black and blue.
Yes.
But really, real Bren, it got really dicey, but in the end, experience is the best teacher, and Dubstep, the more experience.
Coba anime battle sih.
Just finding the right angle to hit that Showstopper.
Iya, keren kalau Jet. Kemarin siapa ya anime battle ya? Di Indo ya?
And as Flow QQ tries to hit these guys yet again, he's been consistent by it. This time, the Hawk will fail him there. Dubstep dispenser, the D&D connection, getting the takedowns. Flow QQ in the meantime, coming in from the defense spawn. But Dubstep again, looking for the answers, solving the equations. But Uanger, not only does he roll on in to get rid of Witz, he catches out his counterpart as well, making it 2v2. And Brent again tested here by CBT.
Oh, it's off the angry Berlin, but let me speak on soon. Berlin brings it to a 1v1.
Bisa nih.
Very low here right now. He is smoked out though, Berlin. So,
wah, nge-wave Jesse Five.
Jesse The big problem here that we were kind of expecting might just be the fact that they have, some new roster additions to this team. But surprisingly enough,
Ayam bakar one itu aja bos H1 HP. Iya, kemarin ya, gua nggak nonton tuh kemarin. Kan dulu ntar
On that B long hold and that B long kind of play that he does all the time with his flashes. And Uanger, what can we say about them? Keeping them afloat here.
And it seems like Uanger and Flow QQ have really found their homes here in CDT, especially Flow QQ. He has just been added on here for the SEA roster. He wasn't there during the local circuit, and he's made B-Long an absolute aviary. And right now, Winner will put the 1 in his name and put the win in his game. The operator hitting its mark and getting that takedown. Seems like Bren, they're not gonna have the entry they're looking for because Dubstep has fallen down.
Looking like a smooth operator right now here with all the dance moves that he's bringing on out. You wouldn't expect maybe a Brimstone to pull out that off, but he's making it happen. CBT with a great opening pick right now. Dubstep, for them to lose their only duelist on the side of Bren is a good sign, a good omen, but Dispenser, he's caught Uanger off guard, and he finds a frag, almost whiffing the shot down to half HP. Dispenser, though, able to bring it to a 4-4, as the retake is going to have to come in from CBT. They still have here the orbital strike to play.
Time to retreat here for the side of Brent. They put that spike down, and here we have it. They do have a decent post-plant composition between the Killjoy as well as the Sova, and control options with the Breach and the Astra. CBT, they're trying to find the contact, and there you go. It's a little bit of a touch and go here from Winner and Rainy, but they will get the takedown. Fast slow walking to his demise, and CBT, they tie it up again. 10 is the magic number here, double digits for both sides. But Brand Esports, they feel the pressure right now from CBT. Look at those frags from Uanger, 20 takedowns, but from the KO again, as well as the Brimstone, 11 assists for Rainy, 7 from Winner. It does seem like right now that CBT are finally finding their footing. They're able to capitalize on how they're using these utilities at the right times and giving the assist points to the teammates that set it up.
I mean, Uanger, he might have a hot head right now, but it's Winner who's got the hot hand with that operator, finding three kills. Again, will he continue this reign on that A site, being such a detriment to Brand Esports' push with those opening picks? The sniper, the enemies are out the gates. The only Vasily here It's the one by winner himself. So FloQQ has been really good at making this play here towards B-Long specifically. Brent Esports can have to play an anti-flash position. Otherwise, it might be caught off guard once more.
It's high time right now to keep an eye out. Eagle-eyed. His name is Rainy. He's the one who finds that pickoff, and as soon as the smoke drops, it's still that small glimpse that CBT got, and that's one thing they've been exceptional in doing in many of their games, and we're finally seeing it here. They're so quick on the trigger finger, they're so quick on the reactions as soon as they pop their own smokes, and it does feel like not only do they control the battlefield with the sightlines, but they have an idea of what's going on the other side thanks to the intel they're able to garner beforehand.
Bren looking for this B-side push, but 3 defenders here for the side of CBT. They're waiting and ready to counteract this push in from Brent Esports. They do have a lockdown to apply, but I don't think it would be the right decision to use it in this round specifically. They're going to have to try and give up a
match
lead or do
ini
something fancy here.
bentar gue mau mandi, habis itu balik lagi.
He gets a triple kill
Pas
at the
on
end of
main.
things here. And once again, that
Bukan abis ini ada one game nih, gue nggak tahu
home,
gimana.
turning the gardens
Nah,
into
habis
his own
itu baru balik
aviary,
lagi.
the greenhouse here for FloQQ. And on that sky, with all the animal
Ngambil
kingdom
brand,
right
ngambil.
behind him, he is certainly looking like the king of that B-side.
Brand kan betul.
He is the Crow Father, he is the Hawk Whisperer, and he is basically Steve Irwin of CBT Gaming right now, just keeping an eye out on those angles and just controlling the animal kingdom. But Brent Esports, they know now that the shoe is on the other foot. They're the ones trying to climb back with so low rope to work with, and they will get this come out. And we mentioned this a while ago, Black and Blue. In the best of 3, you know, Brent Esports, you can rely on them
Kalau gue
to
speaker
get
gue
that
pindahin
series.
bisa
In the
nggak ya?
best of 1, you can rely on them to get that win.
Nah gini loh. Mic gue, nah mic gue. Oh dianya nggak ada. Ntar.
And instead, the only way to go forth the result is either you make the 2-0 happen, or you drop a map and it becomes 1-1. And in a point system like this, you know, we did the math. Brent Esports does not want those 1-1 scenarios. If they want to be the top seed of their group, if they want to be in a good position for the playoffs, they need some consistent and continuous 2-0s just to make it happen. But CBT, they refuse to lose here.
Mind you, friends, folks, far and wide, only 2 teams will qualify into the
Gue ngomongnya begini aja nih,
Every
ngangkat-ngangkat
group that we have
headset.
here, that's gonna be 8 in total.
Sampai
So,
kuping pak,
in the
panas.
16, we're going to cut down half. For the meantime, Brent Esports, they, surprisingly enough,
All I
here,
want is
with
a
them being the
full
most competitive
life.
team of the Philippines, still that
Blinding.
stamina in an international stage has
I
not been
blinded.
working out for them at the very least. CBT, they do have that Viper and Sky on Berlin and FloQQ respectively here on the B side, looking to anticipate what Brent Esports is about to throw at them. Is Brent taking
Panas,
a
bos.
bit of a slower approach here? Jesse Vash, a single point away from his own ultimate there in the Hunter's Fury, but Dispenser, he's got the lockdown to apply. I think
Sekarang Jumat ya?
right now.
Sadar gue kalau sekarang Jumat.
But it does feel like it was less sharp compared to before. Brent Esports though playing in a careful manner to go onto B side. Trailblazer is coming to say hello. Brent Esports already shooting that one down. Bash now with the plant here. Brent trying to set
Flat.
things up yet
Oh,
again.
go
Spike's
almost
planted.
flash.
CBT acknowledging the scenario, willing to go for the retake. Dubstep, he's taking a step further than that. FloQQ now gonna go down. Seems like the aviary is out of business here for this round.
Doesn't have
Push.
much utility on him aside from his own blastbacks. And with that Oracle strike, looking to hammer his elbow push, but Anger with a judge, the jury is out, and the execution is going to be the order here from Anger. Now the lockdown will be placed on for the post-match, 6 seconds left on it. They have to push it, otherwise Rainey's going to get shut down. Dispenser's going to find limits onto the double from Borkham here. Now it's a 1v4, all on to winner. Can he bring his dinner home with his game? He's going to get that operator pick off on the dubstep, but he's conceded
What
the
happened,
round. He
Anjir?
knows he cannot do it in a 1v3. Dispenser going to try and follow him on forward, but Brent Esports tying up the game just barely in the nick of time.
Make-A-Wish see fans, because here we are all tied up 11-11. One of these 2 teams shall take the victory if they can get that 2-round streak. If not, we are going into overtime. And what a way to kick things off here, Black and Blue. We're closer and closer now to potential overtime. This bind map has been incredible, showcasing the talents of both sides. And this is just the very start. You guys are in match number 1 with so many matches to go. We'll be doing 6 matches every single day for the next 4 days in the group stage, and of course the playoffs next weekend. The question now is, who will take this map? Will it be CBT defending their land and defending their map pick? Or will Bren Esports be able to make the 2-0 happen? Does seem like, though, that in that last round, Black and Blue CBT let Bren Esports walk all over them, and that hasn't been the answer for CBT in this game.
Yeah, a lot more proactive in this round 23. You can see them opening up with that smoke very deep there on B long to try and establish some control. But with the flash, the bird, the guiding light to check if there was anybody actually there, he does get that information that Bren Esports, there was at least some sort of stack happening on that Phantom side. For the meantime, though, Bren taking things slow. I'm not sure if this is the right decision to make, at least to continue on for this B site, because there are a bunch of defenders already waiting for that entire facet to come on forward. Bren Esports, they could potentially go for a quick wraparound towards the showers, but I don't think that's going to be a decision. It seems like they're really poised and really marked up for this B site take.
Oh, Dart just gets stared at, and Winner right now gets dubstep there. Great shot from the Brimstone, and we see it a lot. Him on that operator, it's a gamble for the agent he's on, but he's able to hit those marks, get those takedowns, and the thing is, he does have a way to get out if he can deny the push of Bren, but Jesse Bash now pushing the limit and catching out Float QQ. That's a takedown onto the sky.
Wala pang detik, Cok.
And they have to go for the poison. Can they make it past that snake?
Not time.
Catching out
Nice banget
after
ditahan,
the
Cok.
shot from you, Anger, and that's done. CB explosive finale.
Ayo dong, Bren.
What a great play there from Uanger, and that's kind of the problem. When you're not able to, drain out the utility on the opposing side, if you're going to go for that last second
Ayuk
push
dong, ayuk. Dimenangkeun.
from B, they went to A, but they were not able to drain out the utility from those A-side defenders, and so they were able to just dump everything in the last few moments, and there wasn't any time left for Brent to get a breather, to even get a chance to post-plant afterwards. And now, moving into the final round of regulation, Doboruichi is what they like to call it. Bren Esports can have to pull out all the stops here, and they're not on the best buy, mind you. Dispenser and Borkum, the backline here, Bren on Spectres.
You're gonna have to teach me more fancy words like that, Black and Blue. Sounds like a spicy word to add to your vocabulary.
Sumpah
But in
demi
simple
apapun,
English,
barang
CBT
gua nggak
right
dikirim-kirim,
now,
kampret.
they are just one away from that win. I don't
Udah
think that's
ongkir
what that
mahal,
actually
cuy,
means,
instan.
but I will just go with the storyline I've set up so far. CBT right now, they're getting set up here by Bren. There's Wits already with the fault line. Bren Esports now looking to get on B site. And they are
Fiery di hole.
Winner is there to get that takedown. Thumbs up, though, blowing up Brady. Here comes
Ayo
the
dong,
on
di
the elbow,
overtime
and
aja
Bren
kalau
trying to go
gitu.
for the backstab. Winner, though, he might get caught here in the middle.
Aduh,
Wins right now is trying to set things up. And this operator, not the best gun in this close quarters, but this Spencer's still gonna get caught. And Wins is there to catch out Winner in response. 3v2 right now. CBT, they have a
Yuk,
chance
jangan
to retake, but
ngetrol.
Bren
2
is
lawan
making this
3
very, very
nih.
dicey for the Black and Blue.
Pulang
As
lu
Borkum now
Borkum,
playing
jangan
peekaboo,
maju
but
mulu
they
lu.
back away from
S-nya
that.
mana?
Good shoulder peek there from Borkum, realizing that all he really has to do is find information to confirm where they're going to be coming from. He doesn't have to continue to fight that. He has a spectrum,
Nah.
and he knows it, and he finds a kill. Anyways, Borkum.
Oh my god. Nice, Jesse Bash.
Bring the
Nice.
match into overtime. We're going to the first OT in the first series of this entire playoffs.
Overtime.
So much pioneering,
Gitu
and
dong.
this is just the first series. 12 to 12. We are not done with Bren versus CBT. And this is both a testament to the
Technical time.
efforts
At
of
bohong tuh,
CBT
bohong.
right
Sticknya
now,
rusak tuh, alasan
fighting
tuh,
on that
alasan.
against a titan like Bren Esports. But on the flip side, Bren right now, they have to be worried. They need to find their footing in these best of twos. They need to be able to seal these deals quickly and concisely, because if they play back to their Bren standard, sure, it works in the usual playoff bracket in single elimination,
All I
dual
want
elimination,
is
you get
just
best of threes, best of
life.
fives. But if they end up in this group having all one-to-ones because of how they really play in the first place, how they form up their strats and their counter strats, that's gonna be dicey for the standings. And in the group stage, every single map matters.
I mean, when you're a team like Bren Esports, who typically do not start a series off strong and then try to end it strong, it can mean that you give up that opening map. And when you're playing a 2-map rotation here for the group stage, that is something that can really bite you back in the end of things. And so they're going to need every single 2-0 they got. On the side of CBT, it's actually quite a big difference in the contrast of how these two teams play. CBT have by far better default strats on their both defensive and attacking side, but they are not as flexible as we've seen here in terms of being able to make the proper calls mid-round and stuff as Brent Esports are. They're neck and neck when it comes to the firepower on both sides, but Brent a bit more fluid in that aspect, a bit able to adjust a bit more, but their default set strats are not as good as CBT. And so it really is a battle of attrition and a battle of huge different contrasts and philosophies of how they play the game of Valorant.
Yeah, and just to add on that, CBT, they get the better raids when Bren is forced to play the default strats, and you can see there from the likes of Float QQ, from Winner, from UAnger especially, they just know how to put a stop to things, and when Berlin just spreads the poison to get in the way of Bren, then what can Bren do than to cross that toxic seed? But Bren Esports, the adjustments have been strong so far in this series. They just get in the way of the CBT plans, and right now, which identity will shine? Whose passport is this to try and get that visa to Berlin? We'll be finding out very, very soon, as we are going to be looking to conclude this game. First overtime in the first series is upon us. And how many more rounds will go on? That's a mystery that these two teams will try to determine and solve.
UAnger successfully able to dodge that recon dart directly there to the B short position. It seems like CBD trying to spread things out, see if Brent Esports are going to go for a push of their own, and try and find out what exactly they're doing, but concuss on both ends here going to land. But for the meantime, Brent Esports taking things a bit more chill, not necessarily wanting to take the initiative on this opening overtime round. CBT, we're still perplexed on which side they exactly want to go. If UAnger can find a pick here, I'm going to wager they're going to go towards that B site.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Get that control and at least break the bots that Spencer has. CBT, 1 is a magic number. You want to be 1 up, they just want to find that one pick off to help them out immensely. They have the cover yet again on A side, splitting it in half to force Bren away, or at the very least put themselves in a perilous state as soon as the poison drops. Rainy though, he's ready with the 0 point, throwing down the knife, looking forward to suppress. Does get the breach, was a big one, but at the same time, he's able to tackle that fault line at the right time in their black and blue, and with the stun, it slows down
orang jadi ini dulu.
to get caught there by Bork. Of course, QQ yet again with the guidelines. Dubstep though on
Menang
the
nggak
board
tuh
versus
Dubstep?
Rainy.
Oh,
And
Dubstep
Brent
kalah.
Esports right now, they're trying to hold the line. For QQ though with a takedown on Dubstep. CBT is running out of time though, and they're looking to force that plan. Berlin though with that takedown here.
Wih, diplanting. Oh, ini off ininya.
Where is he now?
Spoiler anjing.
They're on the opposite side of this
Overlaynya.
cloud here, black and blue, but Jesse
Ya,
Bash
menang.
is so bash, so good yet again, and Bash will command Brent.
Udah dong, menang Brent dong, gue mau mandi cok. Abis ini gue
Brent Esports on
mandi.
that retake, just completely clean at the end of things, and more importantly, that shutdown mid-execute. You would think it would work in the favor of CBT. They got that Kaio to help things out, but still somehow the utility here just so dire for Brent Esports. You can see at the end of that, Jesse Bash taking his Hunter's Fury just to pop off.
Ayo Brent menang sih.
Brent Esports, single round away from taking this series 2-0. Series point right now for CBT.
And Jesse Bash, you can see the leadership in this guy keeping everything cool, calm, and collected, and at the same time stepping it up immensely. We know that Brent is an incredible team. There are barely any weaknesses right now, but Jesse Bash, he isn't the most notorious fragger of the Brent side. He knows the lineups, he knows how to give intel to his team, but when he's popping on over and popping off, that's when you know that Brent is in a good spot. Can they seal the deal this time and go for it? Can they actually neatly wrap this one up with a 2-0? Or they're gonna need the 2-0 on the overtime as they're on the attacking side here, black and blue.
I told
Spencer has
you
taken
long
lots of
ago,
attention early
on
on
the
here, and lots
road, I
of
got away
damage,
where you
especially
from.
on that B-long push. B-side
I
has
got
been
what
one
they're
that
waiting
has,
for, yeah.
quite honestly, been a bit of a tough one, a tough cookie to open the jar into for Brent Esports on this CBT defensive side. CBT so far have been looking really good on holding on to the B side here, but Brent, what has been the name of the game for them is if they can control this elbow position, they typically win that round. And so they're going to go for it here right now. This side with no operator on the hands of winner. And Dubstep going to find an opening pick on a Rainy. That's just going to completely shine clouds over this B side. As Flow QQ keeping them alive, Dubstep being taken on down.
Dipaksa B-nya udah begitu.
Dispenser somehow finding this one. It's a 2v2 here right now. Switch times on into Flow QQ. You anger, he's mad, he's angry. That's down to the 1v1 with Wits on 7 HP.
Menangin udah please darah 7 150. Berharap apa kok? Kecuali dibokong menang.
We're not going anywhere as of yet. So if you guys want
to
CBT and Brent Esports, I got a deal for you. Second overtime, act now, because here we go again.
Overtime number 2 on the second map of this entire Siege Challengers. I think it's quite apt that we're going to distance here already, Dax, and I think nobody could have ever expected for us to go this deep already. Will we get to a third overtime? Will Brent Esports take this series 2-0? Or CBT going to answer back and get a point of their own in this opening game match? Brent once again on that defensive and spectacular on that side. The first half was really where they made their mark and got this 8-4 lead to start off the map. But CBT have been showing signs of light ever since this game progressed on further. Like a well-oiled diesel engine, they just keep on getting hotter and hotter.
This is a map pick that they love to play. I gotta say, between CBT, maps like this and Ascent are the territory where they can go for the kill play and just try to go for the suppresses and the flashes at the same time. It's something that CBT has been able to accomplish, I gotta say, to make this competition something they're very comfortable with. That's something they want to try and play time after time. They just love going for those suppresses. They love going for those flashes for good reason. Get the advantage in, I'd say, a familiar manner. Maybe the background's helping them out in the first place, but CBT, this is their identity, and we are seeing it here. Brent Esports, though, you're gonna need to cause more chaos. They're gonna need to put a stop to the shining brilliance of CBT right now if they want to get this win, because it did.
Tuh kan ketahuan. Satu tuker 2 jadi ini kan. Betul nih, Brent nih posisinya. Apa main default itu santuy. Elbow ternyata di
elbow is going to be so hard to push, and Wizzy realizes he has to try and get on that aspect quick and early before they're able to establish first-time possessions, and that's exactly what has been happening here. Berlin is going to get taken down by Wits. Somehow Wits, the big brain player, is going to come on in. This 5th man on the roster for Brent Esports, rounding it off. The 3v2 though, they have a lot to deal with here.
Borkum.
The shot he will. Wits will get that frag on the winner. It's 1v2. Wits, he is one of the most consistent players when it comes to clutch like this. He's able to bring it down. He's going to get the clutch. Wits bringing home the overtime round number 3. What a great clutch from him. A 4K to bring things home. And Brent Esports have taken the lead once again.
Go, Wits, go!
Terakhir. Jangan nge-throw.
Like dominoes and breach and clear because Wits is here to make the win happen. Brent Esports. This is why they added this guy to the roster. Simply put, this is why he's been that 5th pillar of Brent Esports, and this is why we say that Brent is a true 5-man roster right now. Brent as a holder core adjusting just to fit in Wits for good reason. Illustrious career in previous tactical shooters. A bit of a experiment as well as a journey into the Thai scene as well of Valorant, but now he's back in Brent's shores for good reason, and this is why Brent is happy to have him.
Let's be honest here. Before coming to Valorant, he was the biggest gun on that Brent Esport CS roster. Once again, he's looking to show that same primetime showtime, which we all know. Dubstep here on the U-Haul Slabs position. Holding it down, that judge is so difficult to flush out when you're inside.
Dispenser. Dispenser.
Will kind of force Dispenser out, but he will get the plant at the end of it. Very low on him. He's been taking the brunt of all this early damage, but he's been doing such an admirable job of kind of painting everybody else to look at his own aggro. You anger though, he's very angry at this. Berlin can answer on back. Looks like we're going into the third overtime. CVT are not giving this up quite easily. Dubstep left alone here.
Ini juga.
We're going into a third overtime. CVT staying
Flawless lagi. Woi, gue mau mandi, woi, nggak kelar-kelar ini game anjing.
And shining brilliance yet again from CVT and Compass, and just exemplified by that flawless hold. Go again, and this time we gotta take notice of how Brent's winning some of these things. They're just playing the clutches and going for it. CVT in the meantime, it does feel like they found their footing immensely, especially as
itu pada dipakai Panda Sakura loh. You anger. Panda Sakura tuh nama damage cuy. Mau beli.
Will Bren finally trip up on the clutch? Will CVT fail to execute yet again? It's time to find out. As you mentioned, Black and Blue, OT 2-3.
Oh dear, man. What a way to start off this series. Such a great opening already to get this entire Sea Challengers started. CVT holding onto the lifeblood, no team giving up anything just yet. It's now Dubstep. Realizes with that information, looks out way at the wrong moment, but still finds a frag somehow. You are being taken on now.
Bener nih.
Still, Dubstep, how does he do it time and time again? He might give you those one whip every now and then, but when it matters the most, he's gonna land.
Ini overlay-nya
The
spoiler cu.
does the same. The D&D connection. These two have been a duo even before Valorant, and once again they're coming.
Orang killnya belum muncul tiba-tiba itu udah kosong aja tuh. Udah duluan kan? Killnya baru muncul nih. Tuh kan betul. Spoiler anjir.
Brent duel equals Brent win. It does seem like you angered. That was heartbreaking at the very start. He had the advantage versus Dubstep, but he failed to hit
Nice,
his mark.
dah. Balas
That was
flawless.
just pretty much the first step to this. Every single time CVT tried to fight against Bren, it was just a sucker punch in that round. And flawless meet flawless. Well, it's looking lawless here as we're getting into another round of bind. But Bren Esports, they're the ones on match point. And can they finally stop this game? Can they finally get the 2-0 that they're looking for? Or will CVT still breathe and still fight to that bitter end?
Unfortunately for CVT there, Dax, the guys kind of got picked off one by one. And that's something they really have to minimize here, especially when their backs are against the wall. You have to play as a team, and you can see that initially happening on here, on this B-long position especially. Take that ult orb to get the Seekers up online real quick. They're only 3 away from that coming up here. Dubstep already pushed his way into the lamps. They've been really good so far, controlling lamps when it comes on these pushes. With the flash, great heads up play by him to
tuh kenapa sih mereka tuh
Are we going into 4th overtime, Dax? I don't think this day is ever going to end, because right now it's a 5v3 in CVT's favor once more.
You know, I'm gonna tell you sentence real quick. How the tables have turned, and let's flip it up. How the turns have tabled, and then we go back. How the tables have turned yet again, and just think about how that rotates again and again and again. It's cyclical right now between CVT and Brent on who has.
Gue makan juga sama gue nih mic gue anjing.
It's just find the tools, find the frags, and get the win. It's
31 round, 32 round anjing.
You are gonna get frightened by the opposition, and whoever backs down first, whoever.
2 lawan 5 yuk.
Confidence in this
Gak menutup
matchup.
kemungkinan itu bisa menang.
They're the ones going on down, but it's all Brand going downhill here. CVT, they're just getting the pickoffs.
Masih bisa yuk 1 lawan 5 nih.
Ya,
masih 50 nih.
He does have the spike, yes. But the utilities here from CVT forcing him to back on away. Dispenser right now.
Bisa yuk. 1 lawan 4 yuk.
He's over to the other side for winners waiting here, Black and Blue.
He's going to have to do something to make this happen. The winner to confirm the round, and CVT stay alive once more. We're not going to end this day ever. That's not even this entire series, because I mean, if it was ranked, maybe you'd try and settle for a draw. But we're here in the Sea Challenge.
Itu lu dubstep lu, tolong W-nya dicabut.
Atau
nggak huruf S-nya diperbesar gitu di keyboard. Maju mulu anjing.
The 2-2-0 rather, then CVT would happily take that 1-1 at the very least, and so Let's see now.
Udah
CBT
kalau
on this
dapat
attacking
space,
side
ya
so
udah,
far.
gitu.
Whoever has been on the attacking side here in overtime
Tugasnya
has
space
been
maker.
struggling to really win that round. It's really been the defensive side diff here for both of these teams in overtime. Brand Esports, can they continue that and can they go up again once more? One in this overtime. We've got the fourth overtime, mind you, round 31.
Black and blue, help me out a little bit.
Aduh, pusing gua anjir,
No,
ternyata
no,
time
not
out
mad.
lagi.
So you see that
Kelar,
F button
fuck.
on your keyboard? Can we like smash it 10 times? Will that do anything? Because this game is such a drawable scenario. If this was the ladder, yes, as you mentioned, but no, we are in seed challenges. No giving up, no surrendering, and no stopping this match till we get a victor. So quick little technical timeout. We finally got one at the very end of everything, but this has just been a matchup to remember so far. It's the first one. You mentioned it though. The defense is where it's at. Whether it's the clutch or the command, it's whoever's defending is getting that dub. And I feel like the only way to break this chain right now is to win that attacking side. Whether you go first or second on the attacking side, if you're the one who gets the win on the attack, it will just be so immense for the OT itself. And in this scenario, since it's CBT on the attack yet again, it does feel like that they can be the ones to command the tempo of this series, the tempo of this overtime conundrum. If they get that win and they're the ones moving into their defense with match point, but only time will tell how this will go on. The teamwork though between these two teams have been exemplary. Multiple assists from the likes of the KO as well as the Breach on the opposite side. And it's all about the setup and the knockdowns here from both teams, but they're bowling for that perfect 300, Black and Blue, but someone has to miss a pin sometime soon.
Thing is, who's going to land the home run? Who's going to play perfectly on both of these halves? That's the big defining factor here. How consistent can you be on both the attacking and defending side? Now, Bind, one of the more equal maps that we do have, but it is kind of defender's sided at times, and you can see just the full effect of that here in our overtime round. Team who's on that defensive side in overtime have been consistently winning that overtime round. And so Jesse Vash, early information he's going to be taking here, find winner playing on that fountain. It still seems like CBT, even after giving up that spot, they realize that they kind of seem to want to go towards the B site once again. It has not really been fortunate for them so far, but one caveat here is that there's only two defenders ready to kind of receive this attacking push from CBT for the side of Brand Esports. And so Brand, especially with Jesse Vash playing on CT, what Dispenser has to do here is maybe go 1-for-1, but for the most part, honestly just hold on back. I'm not sure if this is
Kan belum ada info masuk ya, tapi udah di recall Jesse Vash, cu. Orang ada Dispenser di sini kok minta info loh sama Dispenser, sama Dispenser juga mintanya.
Vash not done getting to there before he falls in hand. Berlin with no enemies trying to come on back with an elbow, but Berlin again trying to play to his namesake and go to that location. That's the Viper getting a kill on the board. It's a big one there controlling the elbow.
Ini brand nge-troll cu, demi Allah yuk, kesel banget gue lu demi Allah. Dubstep, W-nya nggak bisa dilepas. Atau enggak W huruf S di keyboard dubstep tuh harus digedein anjir. Ayo menang. Berkum. Wah, nggak jadi kan. Gue nggak mandi-mandi, yo anjing memang gara-gara dubstep ini. Alah udah brand ini serius. Map 3.
And they have put the first OT win on the board. Is this a sign for them to get this victory?
An attacking round here, finally won by CBT once more. And now on the defensive side, by all means, they have the advantage if we're going to go the way things have been for this entire 4 overtimes that we're playing on right now. Brand Esports, it's up to them to make a play. It's up to them to show up here and bring us a show.
Agak kalah Brand tuh, kalah sudah nge-troll nih anjing dubstep tuh. Berapa momen lu matinya konyol tuh, di U-hole lagi.
The Brand Esports, they cannot get picked off one by one, which has been happening for them during
masuk U-hole dia nih ntar nih.
sides that they've had so far. A lot of times, Brent Esports on the overtime, they like to play this one slow, and they can't do that. Not against Uanger. He's ADS, and a quick tap away to find Jesse Vash.
Mas Bigol kan betul.
Si,
kalah kan? Kalah kan, Brent?
They want to conclude it instead, and Berlin with the win, getting 2 there. Dubstep to the meantime inside the last, but Brent Esports, they know they're running out of rope right now.
Lihat,
They're running out of
Dubstep.
time to work with, and they're running out of players so far with Dubstep with a single bit of HP here, black and blue. Now CBT, here we go again with them trying to get closer and closer to Brent Esports so far. And in this
Kena trap wire juga mati Dubstep sebenarnya.
is given a chance to plant.
Kena settle sendiri. Mati anjing.
Dubstep is down to 1 HP. Maybe if he had more health on him, it could be a slight chance here.
Enggak cuy.
CBT
Dubstep nge-troll.
low as well, both of the Rays.
Udah masuk Q-hole nih. Udah stay gitu loh. Tugas dia tuh space maker, bukan ini apa ambil kill. Space maker aja udah dapat banyak space gitu ya. Langsung maju. Mati. Bukan betul mati. Ayo bisa yuk, Dorkom yuk. Yo, Dorkom yuk. 50 yuk. Yo, Dorkom yuk. Jangan kalah kan, Brand kan. Ada aja dia lagi. Ini CBT goblok. Ya ampun. Bisa nonton time juga ini. Aduh, nih di game pusing anjing.
12.12. That's a different kind of Borkum time, and that small sliver of time he was able to buy Brent Esports continues his game. We're not done. We jinxed it, black and blue, because we were saying
siap cuy, gue mau mandi gitu, udah kelar tadi.
Let's continue.
Gue juga di Cibitung Gaming.
Not here whatsoever. No draws will be attained. Someone has to win, and in this scenario, CBT
tolong ya.
shown how much
Gue udah 3 lawan 1. Masa gak ada yang defuse sama sekali anjing. Anjing kocak banget, gue merasa main silver. 16 enggak bukan. Kayak kemarin waktu itu ada yang pernah 20 deh. Atau 18 gitu.
Oh boy. How did they do it time and time again? Earlier on it was Wits and now Borkum. That old guard.
Duh, hari anjing. Ini kalau gue buka baju tuh kena violence nih sih stream gue. Gerah cuy. Tuh, lihat dubstep kan? Masalah ini kalau kalau dia dapet ya, kalau nggak dapet kan nggak bisa di trade.
Now CBT in a 3v4, the time is ticking for them.
CBT, this is why they're that first seed. They are still fighting even more, but they are down by 2 members. Gotta say though, this has been such a extraordinary performance from CBT. The questions were asked that can this roster actually work, especially with the latest edition of Float QQ. Well, Berlin is trying to make this work, and we've been big fans of the CBT roster ever since they showed up, even in the KPC days with some of them. But CBT right now, still holding that line and getting that post-plant scenario on. Brendo trying to come closer and closer. Here comes Borkum right now, looking for that fake dispenser to win that take. Now here comes Wits as well, and it's all up to Rainier right now to bring in the Thunderstorm. Can he just rain on the spray?
Udah menang.
Wits, and we are not at Wits end whatsoever. Brent Esports solved the puzzle and win
out on the
Brent Esports getting another defensive round to the way to pop off there at the end of things with the Rolling Thunder. They're definitely bringing the storm. Wits, 20 frags on him. He might be at the bottom of that scoreboard with Jesse Vash, but I'm going to tell you, the value that they're getting out of these 2 players is so much more than the scoreline might suggest and their leaderboard might suggest. As Brent Esports take the lead once more, CBT, now on the defensive side, have another chance to stay alive in the series and bring us potentially into the 6th overtime.
You know, they have accomplished it. They've accomplished it multiple times before. And from what CBT has accomplished so far in their careers is something to watch out for. Look at that history from CBT, man. Just consistency in Hong Kong, Taiwan region is incredible that they've been two-time reps, and if you look at their whole roster, they technically have players that were there in that
Nggak cuy, sengaja
first
cuy.
as well, in KPC.
Soalnya ini kalau gue tutup, cahayanya memang lebih bagus. Tapi saya terbakar di kamar pas gue datang. Oke, gue buka nih, tapi cahayanya masuk, ya udah. Gua mau ke depan, mau ke Alpha nih, capek gue nontonin brand lawan Cebitung nih, nggak jelas anjing. Webcam gue matiin, tapi live-nya masih nih. Oke bangsat, pin nge-troll, gue sih ke PCT anjing.
Table, looking at the group at first glance, but never forget that CBT has been that team to watch out for from this small partition of SEA, and they are proving it right now. They're black and blue. Can they defend one more time? Dubstep though, he's trying to say no. And Bren Esports, you know, there's many speeches about them. We had a CBT speech, but Bren right now trying to take the mic away with that initial frag.
This is a good sign here for Bren Esports. They've typically have been struggling to find that opening pick on the attacking overtime rounds, but finally with a quick shutdown on Berlin, the Viper to be taken off first and foremost here from CBT is huge. Now a lot of their control on the site is going to be cut down. Winner, the only controller left here for the side of CBT. And we have that Viper go on down. That's such a big deficit to really lose early on in the round, as Bren Esports, they are looking primed and proper, and more importantly, Dubstep is a single point away from getting a showstopper on.
This is going to be a big one if he finds that big boom. CBT now trying to play from the last, but Dubstep's there to get that takedown yet again, and he's ready to fire in that lap hole as he is looking for a place to shoot it towards to. Rainy though on the board. Here we go with Borkin going down. Can Rainy get another one? He's been trying, he's been tested, but he turns around to get taken down there by this Spencer. And this 4v1 scenario, winner here, he's gonna try one last time to give a win to CBT, but it does seem like Bren, they want to change that name from Berlin to Brenlin instead. They finally get that 2-0 with an incredible overtime win, but my heart pours out for CBT. Point 12 is all.
Menang coy, ada coy. Bren, gitu dong. Gila gue mau cabut, menang lo anjing. Nah, karena Bren sudah menang, saya mau off, saya mandi, sholat. Habis itu Onyx main, saya live lagi guys. Tunggu, oke. Bren udah menang soalnya nih. Tepuk tangan. Tepuk tangan dulu ya teman. Stiker tepuk tangan ayo langsung dikasih. Stiker tepuk tangan, spam. Stiker tepuk tangan. Karena Dubstep nge-troll. Mantap. Dah, saya off. Dubstep nge-troll. Ya, walaupun MVP tapi nge-troll. Dadah. Saya mau mandi.
After they found that opening pick with Dubstep here on that final round, you knew that the writing was on the wall.
Yeah, Dubstep and Uanger taking the top frags and the MVPs for these two teams, and we can sing praise